Kevin, my brother. What's up,
What's
man?
up?
All good?
Good.
Okay. So you're actually my third guest
Uh-huh.
right now. Previously is Shan. So I have prepared so many questions that I want to talk
Wow,
about.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
So, Kevin, I believe that so much of our childhood could help us understand who we are as adults,
Mm.
right? So I want to ask you, can you tell me what you were like when you were a kid? Like, what was it like growing up with your dad and your mom in Malaysia?
Damn.
For-
Damn. Okay.
Deep question from
Yeah,
the
that's
start.
that's that's quite. You're coming in strong. Actually, for me, growing up is like quite usual. I would say like a normal, typical Asian kid. Strict parents, a parent. I would say strict mom. My dad was the more easygoing guy. So whenever I get punished, I will run to my dad. But yeah, besides that, like I think my childhood is quite, I don't know, routine, like usual stuff, just school, come back.
So it was more likely routine, like not so many new things going on.
No. And I think that like made me not really explore too much
I see.
into adventurous stuff in life, but like it's okay for me.
So you're very, very often found in home, and you're never like exploring stuff.
Actually, like my routine would be more like wake up,
Mm-hmm.
because when I was younger, how young are we talking? Like growing up,
Let's say like you were still in your
kindergarten
junior high
or
school.
junior. Okay,
I don't think you can remember stuff in your kindergarten.
because it's different. Because I grew up in two different locations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, when I was in kindergarten up till I was 9,
Mm-hmm.
I was in KL, like main part of KL, and then in kindergarten I started school in the morning, if I recall. Yeah, in the morning. So it would be like waking up, getting ready, going to kindergarten, and then after that I had some practice for some music stuff, and I would go home, watch TV, do homework, and then I would go out and play football with my neighbors. But they were all older than me,
Mm.
like way older. Now that I think about it, like I think there was more than a 5-year gap
Really?
between me and my neighbors, but somehow we just
Get along so
we
well.
just get along. And then after that, but they were like quite like naughty kids.
Naughty kids.
Yeah, because they would actually, I don't recall what naughty things that they did, but then like my parents always tell me that they're very
Don't
naughty.
go with them.
Yeah, for some reason. Maybe because they're just way older than me at that time. But then eventually I found another neighbor that was my age, but he went to like I don't know if you have it in Jakarta. It's like a school that's like, so we call it Jenis Kebangsaan Cina.
Okay.
So it's like a Chinese focused school, and then we have a Tamil focused school as well, and then we have the normal government schools.
Okay.
And then we have international schools. So I went to the normal government school, but then my other friend, who was the same age as me, he went to the Chinese one. So everybody there was, Chinese background,
people.
Chinese speaking, blah 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 blah. So because of him, it kind of made me actually learn like Mandarin. Or else
Mandarin,
I don't think I'll be
Really?
able to speak Mandarin.
So
yeah.
you weren't speaking Mandarin in your household?
No. My parents will speak English and Cantonese most of the time to each other, but with me it's fully English.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a bit boring, but when I look at you, you're actually like very adventurous right now.
Really?
Right. That's what I think.
Okay.
Like you're the type of person that if you talk to in a club or in
Yeah.
a bar, like you have stories to tell, right?
Oh.
You're not boring.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do have stories, but I won't really like go out of my way to go up to someone and hey,
Hey.
I have this story to talk about,
I see.
Yeah. So I think I'm more reserved in that regard. But if you come up to me and then like we vibe, then I think
When does it change from being like always in the house, living in a routine life, to actually being adventurous and explorative to you?
I think definitely in high school like when my mom like let go a bit more. Like she didn't really, not to say she didn't care, but then like she didn't really restrict me as much. Because I mean, when you're younger, I guess understandable lah. But
They
then
want to
as I got
protect you, yeah.
As I got older, then I didn't really have to ask for permission to leave. I would just say I'm going here with so and I'll be back by this time. And can you help me for transportation? If you can't, then I'll just settle it on my own.
I see.
Yeah.
So your mother started to give you more freedom when you were in high school,
yeah.
and then from then on you started to exploring stuff and being more
I mean,
adventurous.
once I had my car, then
You just go around.
I think that's a car is like the ultimate freedom machine, man. Like,
really?
not even planes or whatever. Because like a car is like A to B, whereas like a plane you have to go airport, then you have to wait there, in the airport you have to fly, and then after that you reach the airport, immigration, take a cab or whatever. So yeah, I think a
see.
car is like the ultimate freedom machine. Yeah.
I see. So you mentioned that your mother was a bit strict, but your dad was a bit chill, right? What are the first 3 words that come to mind when it comes to your dad?
My dad,
How would you describe him?
My dad, dad. 3 words to describe my dad. He's smart.
Smart.
He's very good at what he does. I don't know if that counts as 1 word, but okay, let's
No,
just say
that's-
talented.
Yeah, talented. Okay.
He's very talented, and I think he's strong lah.
Strong.
Yeah.
In what sense? I mean,
I think in every sense,
physically, mentally.
as in everything. Cause like he's been through a lot.
Really?
And then whenever I look at my dad, I just see a very strong person. Yeah. But of course, even though no matter how strong you are, he also does need someone,
To support it.
to support him. So I do try to support him the best I can.
Damn.
Obviously, like
Damn.
us as Asian kids, we don't really have the best communication.
I understand
with our
that.
family members. So
I understand that.
yeah, when I was younger, communication was
Really
terrible,
awful?
man. Like really, really bad. Cause like my mom is like the type that can blow up.
Really?
Yeah, like she can be really like upset or whatever, and then the whole house would be like scared. They'd be like, oh,
I see.
should we like talk to them? Should we not talk to them? So we're always on like eggshells or whatever. But then after my mom passed in 2020, then after that I was like, oh shit, like they can go anytime.
Okay,
So
understand.
ever since then, I think we put in a bit more effort, but of course it's still difficult because they have a difference in mindset. You also have a different mindset.
Yeah, different
so there
worldview,
has
yeah.
to be like a compromise lah. So I think slowly I've been able to talk to my dad more and more. Not just business related, but like
Emotionally, personally.
emotionally stuff.
That's
like
cool,
that.
man.
So it's good. It's slow, but that's why I'm a bit worried.
What?
Now I'm a bit worried because I'm in Jakarta, and let's say if I really do become based here, how am I going to
Take care of your dad.
yeah?
Ah,
Because
shit.
my entire family is away. My oldest is a Singaporean. My second sister, she just got her specialist. She just passed her specialist like qualification, whatever certificate, blah 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 blah. So she's back in KL, but she's not living with my dad. She has her own place.
I see.
And then after that, I think she's applying to go to Australia because
Ah.
of work-life balance and whatever, which understandable lah. So if she does eventually move to Australia, it means that the closest person to her is my older sister,
Exactly.
who
and
has
it's
a family.
a different country.
Yes, exactly.
What the fuck, bro?
So
Like-
I'm thinking of flying. Maybe like I have to. The compromise is that I have to fly back lah more often. But the problem is like
If shit happens, it still
It
takes a
takes
lot of
time.
time
Yeah,
from you to
yeah.
Jakarta to go to
Yeah.
Malaysia again, right? I see.
exactly. So
So that sounds like a very fucking tough decision, man.
yeah, that's why I have to balance between like my career and as well as taking care of him, because the time that he has is going down, and then also if I don't do anything about my career,
Yeah,
then it's also
You don't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah,
You're still in your golden years. You need to focus on your career, but at the same time, you need to consider about your dad, whose time is actually running out.
yeah.
It seems to me that you're very close to your dad.
Yeah. I mean, after my mom passed, then definitely there's a different appreciation, especially because I feel like my dad has so much knowledge to share, but then I don't know how to extract it.
I see.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, you want to ask, but like you don't know how to ask because you're not grown up in that environment where you feel like, it's like just so easy. For me, it's not easy, honestly. Like to talk to my parents about all these things.
Damn.
Yeah,
I see.
because honestly, when I grew up, it's just money and like, oh, if you do well in exam, I'll buy you something. And then after that, it's like, oh, I actually do okay, not bad, and then I don't get it. I was like, hey, wait a minute.
What's the deal here?
Yeah, so I worked my ass off, and I still don't get anything. So what's the point, right? Yeah. So that's what I feel lah. But yeah, thinking back, it was quite. I mean, it's good times lah.
Good times with your dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn good, damn good. It's very good to hear that. What about 3 words when it comes to your mom?
Shit, my mom. 4 words.
4 words, okay? Sure.
3 words or 4 words?
Three.
3 words.
Three.
Okay, so 3 words. She, of course, is strong. She's a perfectionist.
Oh, wow, okay.
And also, I would say, from my side, she was very misunderstood.
Very
in the family.
misunderstood?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Because, like, so basically, she passed because she had how many types of cancer? One.
Hold, what the fuck?
5. She had 5
Five
types
types of cancer.
Yeah, but obviously not at the same time.
Okay.
But basically her cancer was aggressive, so it spread. So that's why it became 5 types.
I see.
But basically when she got cancer, I was probably like 13 or 14.
13
so I
or
really
14.
didn't really understand. I mean, like, cancer, yeah, it's a big deal, you know that. But you don't understand how big of an impact it is to a person because, you know,
The
you are
emotional
not,
impact,
yeah,
right?
you're not the one going
Yeah.
through it, right?
You cannot understand it emotionally.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
like know it. Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
cancer.
you're so young. Yeah, right. You are figuring out yourself as a person, and then how you know. There's even more effort
True.
to understand somebody else. So, I didn't really understand the impact of it, and then my parents were also like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it. You know, yeah,
Oh,
this cancer
they're-
is bad, but like you know,
Oh,
there's
they're that type of
chemo,
parents, yeah.
Yeah, there's chemo, there's blah blah blah, so you don't have to worry about it. But then like, then you start to see like, oh, her hair is falling off,
Yeah.
and then like she gets very agitated very easily. Then she's very picky on every single thing lah, like you know, food, what type of food to eat,
I
and
see.
whatever. So I really didn't understand that. So I would feel like, what's the point of you doing all this? Like I didn't think like she's doing it for for health or whatever. It's like why force us into this as well?
Yeah.
But it's because she's like, okay, I got it now. I don't want my family members to get it, so I'm going to change, you know, everything. So there's no more like processed food at home. Everything is fresh.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so it's like fruits and whatever vegetables. We're eating
Okay.
salads every day. As in like we have a salad as an appetizer, and then we go into our main. But I was like, why am I forced into this? I'm not sick.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, right? And it's like such a sudden switch. And then it's like every day I'm eating salmon and salmon and salmon. I mean, yeah, of course, salmon is good.
Good.
But then like every single
single
day,
day.
and it's the same preparation and everything. So I was like,
Oh boy.
yeah, it was like, oh man, like, I think maybe that's why I was skinny lah. Last time. So I would just go onto the dinner table, they'll be arguing, and I'll just be like, I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm
You
out.
just go.
Yeah.
So there's lots of arguments in the house.
Yeah, of course. Because like,
Damn.
I think they are two very strong people. My mom and my dad, they're both very strong in their opinions. And then,
Stubborn?
Not to say stubborn, as in they both have opinions and they want to be heard, and they
Oh,
don't want their
okay.
point to not be understood. You know, so they will think differently. He also thinks differently. Blah 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 blah. So it's very difficult lah. They have to find that compromise, I guess. So that's why that's the argument.
That's interesting. Okay. So basically your household is consisting of a dad and a mom, and they both have very strong opinions and they want to be understood properly, right? And therefore like none of them
But the way the way that my mom wants to be understood is by shouting,
by shouting.
because
okay.
that's how she knows how, like the family will listen when
I
she
see.
shouts.
Ah, okay.
So she will go back to that method, and all of us are like, "Oh, you're
What the
angry!
fuck?
Like,
Yeah.
like,
What should we
did
do?
You know, we didn't do anything, and then suddenly you're shouting at me." But that's her. She understood that that's the only way that the family responds to her.
I see.
So she shouts.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, it's not her fault. It's like an enabled and an enabler situation.
It's understandable behavior.
Yeah, but
right?
obviously at that time,
We don't understand.
I don't-
Like,
I
what the
don't
fuck
understand.
did we do?
Yeah, I just came back from school and then suddenly,
Hey!
I was like, yo, bro, relax, man. I just came back. You gotta give me the context here. What's going on? So
Then tiba-tiba teriakin like somebody shouts.
yeah.
Okay,
So
that's cool. So that's mom and dad, yeah.
yeah.
Is there-
Obviously, I didn't grow up with my sisters around. 'Cause
Really?
My sister left for college and whatever in Singapore when I was like what, 7?
Did it get lonely, in the house?
When at that time, no, because I had a maid.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a maid, so I would hang out with her and whatever. So it didn't really feel that lonely, but I don't really. I mean, like loneliness and feeling alone is different, right?
For sure.
So I can be alone.
But not feel lonely.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm fine with that actually. Like
I
in
see.
fact, I appreciate it because it's peaceful.
Peaceful.
I am very very happy to be left in a corner and then I'm just doing my own thing. I'm completely fine with that. But I'm also completely fine with like going out,
Going
having,
out.
you know, chats with my friends
I
and
see.
whatever. I mean, friends that are like, you know, in my circle. Like if I'm going out to meet somebody new, then that's different. Sometimes I need to prepare a bit. I'm a bit at arm's length with people. But then once I deem that okay lah, this guy is okay, then yeah.
We vibe,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah,
keep
yeah,
on going.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. You know, one of the things that I'm grateful for right now is actually hitting you up when you were carrying Kino.
Yeah.
Because we get to have these kind of conversations. It's
yeah.
cool. Is there like an important lesson that your dad taught you?
financial literacy lah.
Financial literacy.
Very, very important.
Sorry, what did he do for a living?
So my dad actually started off. So my dad's family. Oh shit! I moved.
Don't
to
worry,
Chiko.
don't worry.
My dad, like as in my dad's dad, had a kedai runcit. Is that what you call it?
Kedai runcit?
So it's basically like a small store which sells like everyday things. So you have like, I don't know what it is in Indonesian.
Everyday stores Indomaret. Toko Serbaguna. Toko Serbaguna.
Something like
Okay,
that.
okay.
So like a store that sells
Everything, basically.
like your everyday goods.
Oh,
and
okay.
then, you know, like rice and soap, shampoo, everything is there. Toothpaste, whatever. So when I think he said he started when he was very young, even before like when he was a kid growing up, he would really help out in the store
I
together
see.
with his siblings. Then from there he went to India with my mom to study university. He graduated, I think, top of his class.
Damn.
And then he came back, and then he went to I can't remember chronologically. It's either Desa Tape, which is a tape company, or Royal Selangor. Have you heard of Royal Selangor?
No.
They're like a computer company, which
Computer
is in
company.
Jakarta as well, actually.
Okay.
Royal Selangor. So, yeah, my mom and my dad go way back. They go way back. And then my mom, I think I'm not sure if she completed uni, but I think she did. And then she went to work with my dad as well in Royal Selangor. And then she retired and became a housewife because she
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to take care of
Take
me.
off.
Yeah. After Royal Selangor and Desa Tape, then he went into this German company called Schmidt and Clemens.
Schmidt and
It's
Clemens?
an oil and gas company.
Oil and gas company.
Yeah. So my
Okay.
dad has this thing where he works in a company for 7 years, seven. Then he'll move on.
Okay.
So then after that 7-year tenure, basically some stuff happened, and then it wasn't like a super smooth, like, oh, I'm gonna leave the company or something. There's some stuff that happened that I won't get into.
Okay, for sure.
Then after that, he started his own business. So he started a alarm, like a security system business.
Security system business.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he did it during COVID, which was, I mean, tough lah, definitely, because
Yeah.
COVID, right?
The market is on collapse and
Yeah.
everything is going wrong.
But then obviously he still managed to sustain himself. And then midway through, he got headhunted.
Headhunted?
So basically, headhunted basically means like, you know, LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
So on LinkedIn, there are agents there that can actually help you look for jobs, or
Oh,
like they're
okay.
scouts, you know. They're basically like scouts like that. So this headhunter actually like contacted my dad, like, hey, I have a opportunity for you in Saudi
Okay.
Arabia. So it's oil and gas as well. So he knows the industry and the same position as well. So he was the MD in managing director.
MD.
Yeah.
He was the MD,
Yeah,
managing
in,
director.
in Schmidt and Clemens, and then they were offering him the same role in that
Position
company as well.
in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So
Damn.
he closed the company, and then he went there lah. And that time my mom's condition, she was almost declared cancer free.
Okay.
Almost.
Oh.
Yeah, and this was after breast cancer, lymph node, and lung. So she was on her brain, the brain
On
cancer.
her brain.
Yeah.
Brain cancer right now.
So at that time, they were trying a new chemo basically, and then it was working, and then it didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah, for some reason it just didn't work. So my mom's condition was this, and then my dad was in Saudi. So it was quite tough lah, cause I was also in Australia at that time. Yeah, cause I was in uni.
Who's taking care of her?
A maid. We have a maid at the time as well.
Roommate. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, but obviously, you know, the maid is not the same level as
Of
me
course.
or my dad.
Of course.
So it was quite tough. And then, eventually his contract ran out. So he came back to KL to take care of my mom. And then that's when her condition really became bad.
I see.
I think it's very fast actually. Actually, it's like COVID hit. He was in Saudi. His contract was ending there. I was in Australia, and then I was thinking like, oh shit, if I stay in Australia, I'll be stuck here for a long time. So I don't really want that. So I wanted to come back. And then he came back. I came back. We were all together. I celebrated my 19th birthday with her, which is in September.
Yeah.
In December she passed. So it's October, November, December, 3 months. That's it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was very fast. The deterioration is very fast. I think October, November, December was.
Suddenly just decline like that.
Yeah. Like I remember she came back from the hospital one day, then she said like, oh, I cannot pee. Like, so she was very bloated and whatever, right? Then after that, suddenly she's like, oh, I cannot move my legs.
Oh.
So we didn't know she was actually paralyzed, like leg down. We didn't know.
Okay.
So at that time, my mom, she would just sit on the toilet lah,
Yeah.
hoping for her pee to come
To
out.
come out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come out, right?
doesn't.
Because she's paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
Right? She went on a wheelchair, and then after that, she was put on the pee bag thingy.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, whoa, like, something is.
Something's changing so fast.
And then she entered hospital in, I think, November. So basically we call it IKN lah.
IKN, okay.
Institute Cancer Negara in KL, and it's like a pretty tough hospital to get in.
I see.
Yeah, and then her case was actually taken in as they want to treat it, they want to do something about it, and then after that, we had to make a decision. It's like, well, are we going to treat it? But there's a chance she might not even come out from it.
Okay.
And even if she does come out from it, she'll be in pain. So are we going to do the procedure or not?
I see.
So
What's the
ultimately, I
decision?
think the best decision was to just
Let it go.
be lah.
Let it
Like,
go.
Because even if she survives it, it's like gonna be
In a
life
lot
in
of pain.
Yeah.
What's the point? Yeah. I understand.
So then she passed, literally on Christmas. Yeah. But I mean, it's a good thing lah. It's a good thing. Then after that, my dad was just doing his business until basically he was looking for investment opportunities lah. So he was looking for a period of time, and then he got headhunted back into Schmidt and Clemens again. So he went back. So and he's currently still there.
Okay,
Yeah.
still there.
So like that company, right? When he was this is the tenure back then. He made the company a lot of money. So there was a period of time when he's not around.
Okay.
So the company is a monopoly.
Okay.
And they're not making money.
All
You
right.
think that makes sense?
No.
Exactly, right? So in that whole tenure that he was not around, they were making losses almost every year for a monopoly.
Damn.
So it doesn't make sense. So when my dad went in, then he started to see all the true colors. Like,
All the
basically,
true
there's a
colours.
lot of corruption.
Ah.
The managing directors were taking money in from the projects into their own pocket. Blah blah blah.
I
So
see.
he cut out a lot of people one by one, and then after that, he managed to turn the company around lah in a few months. So
It seems to me that your dad is insanely good
Yeah.
at what he's doing.
exactly that's why I say he's very talented.
To the
So-
point that he could change like a company's fate. That means that you're like a major key player in the
Yeah,
company.
Exactly.
God damn.
So because I think it's very scary because he's the decision maker. Like you can give him okay, let's say there's 10 options on the table. But at the end of the day, every option could be good, but which one are you going to
choose
to
the
decide
best.
on, right? And he has to do that. So I
I
think it's
see.
very difficult. So I think his role is very scary. But somehow he just does it very, very well. Like he's gifted in that sense.
Decision
where
making.
he can work for someone. But if he choose to start his own business, I don't think he has that same
Really?
talent. Yeah, because I think he's good at delegating people. Okay, he has these people for here, he has these people for here. Okay, you guys do this, and then we'll settle. And then the project works. But then when you are on your own, then you have to go and find new people.
New
to
people
help
again.
you, and then-
Hiring again.
yeah, so it's like a lot of people they are not on the same level.
It's
lah.
a different game.
Yeah,
different
yeah,
game.
Yeah. So that's why
Okay.
his business didn't. I mean, it was okay when he did it, but it's not to the scale where he would want, and also the same scale as in that company lah.
So he's doing better as an MD.
He's better off working for
As
someone,
someone working for
a business
himself.
Owner, yeah.
Okay,
But he said
that's interesting.
He said his biggest regret is not starting his
Starting
own
his
business
business.
earlier.
Really?
Yeah, but I think looking back also, I'm not sure if that would be the best thing for him also. So I'm not sure.
I see. And that's why he taught you that one of the most important things that you could learn is financial literacy.
Yeah. But of course, I mean, I'm still learning as well. And then, we are young. I think our generation especially, we tend to be more YOLO, whatever, you like this thing, just buy. It's okay, don't worry about it. The money, you can think about it. Go have everything and then you'll be fine.
Impulsive buying.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Don't worry.
So it's like I have that impulsive moments, but then obviously it's improving. But my dad will always be advising you don't need so many of these things. Just having a few is really good enough, which is true. So of course I'm still learning. But, yeah,
Being frugal is part of financial literacy, right?
of course. But then you can't sacrifice your
Fun.
as in I mean, you should live your life a little bit as
For
well.
sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like finding a balance,
Yeah.
of not being too hedonistic, but at the same time not being too, saving every penny, just finding the middle ground. Yeah.
My dad is on that side.
On that side, middle ground.
No. He's on the frugal side.
Frugal side.
Wherever he can save, he saves.
He says, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting."
So he's actually very simple. Super, super simple. His clothes, he doesn't care where it's from. You know, the only thing he'll buy that's expensive is probably like a car.
A car or
Because
maybe
car
like,
is safety, ma.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Car safety is reliability.
Suit probably
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
meeting and everything.
Yeah. Actually, even suit he doesn't care.
His suit, he doesn't care.
He's like, it's not even his. I think it's from passed down from his like brother or something, and then he just
Oh.
uses that.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. Did your father come from money, or did
No,
your
no.
father work his ass off?
The family had a store, that one store, and that's it.
I see.
And they had like what 9 siblings or something. So of
What
course,
the
it's,
hell?
I mean,
9
back
siblings?
Then, back then it's normal.
Yeah, I know.
So-
but that's
Yeah.
tough, man.
Yeah,
Living
yeah.
up,
Exactly.
feeding the family and everything.
Yeah. So I think out of all his siblings, he did the best.
The best.
Out of all of them.
Damn.
And it was tough lah. I mean, for him, but seeing what he has become is very inspiring.
You seem to be very proud of him, yeah.
Yeah,
as a
of
dad.
course, of course, of course.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's so
but I
cool.
mean, I'm not the best son. I'm not the worst. Son.
You're in the middle.
So
Somewhere in the middle.
I would say. I mean, I don't cause him any trouble.
Mm.
But the trouble I just cause him is maybe like I'm spending a
A
lot
lot
on
of
stuff,
money.
and then he's like, hey, you like,
Hey yo,
control
chill
your
that.
spendings,
Control
So,
spending.
Yeah,
Well, so okay, that's cool.
yeah.
So that's basically your family background, yeah.
Mm.
That's cool. Were you a wild and crazy student during university? No, very chill.
No, my uni life is like, because I mean like the whole time is like, since I was growing up, it's still like a routine, right?
Mm.
So I carried that forward into uni.
Uni, really?
Because like when I was in uni, it was literally the prime time of COVID. So
Okay, I understand.
yeah, so I could have went back on my 3rd year of uni, but I was so complacent at home, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay at home.
I see.
So I didn't fly back. I only went for, I think, total 9 months out of my 4 years. I could have been in Australia. I only went there for 9 months total.
What?
Total.
Total for 9 months? Damn.
So essentially, that means like I was there for how many semesters?
One semester is 6 months?
About 2 semesters.
2 semesters.
Yeah, that's it. 2 semesters is 1 year,
Yeah, exactly. Mm,
and that's it.
that's it. So basically, your uni life is 2 semester, 1 year in Australia, and
The
then
rest was in KL.
It's
And
in
then
online class.
online lah. Yeah.
Online class.
Yeah.
So you don't get to experience like the crazy stuff in university.
Yeah. Actually, but when I was there also, I didn't really dabble into like clubbing or whatever. My friends did go though. My
They
friends
go.
who were there, they all went clubbing. They all enjoyed themselves. But for me, it's not really.
What about the story that your friend like tried to puke on your
Oh
hand?
yeah, I
You
mean,
told me
that
about
was
it.
in KL. That was in KL.
Oh, it was in
Because my
KL.
first time that I went to a club was in KL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
not in Australia. Because at that time, I mean, Australia, I think the age restriction is 18. So
18?
technically, I could have went in Australia, but in KL it was 21, and there's a few years to 21, right? So,
How did you get in?
basically, you just go with the bigger guys,
Oh.
as in like the ones who look older,
Okay.
and then they will just think that you are like
Yeah,
yeah,
friends
one
or
of them.
buddy.
Yeah. So they don't check your ID. they just
Strategy.
go in. Yeah, hey, that was a plan, bro. We had to plan. We were like thinking like, shit, how are we gonna get you? You're not 21 yet. Like, what the heck? But then I've had so many friends who go into clubs when they were like 18, 17, and they have no problems with it. What the heck? So why was I so worried?
Huh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it works for them, but I mean, they're still clubbing until now.
I see.
But I mean, they are my age lah. So they just started when they were in high school. But at that time, I didn't go.
At this point, you don't really enjoy that kind of lifestyle too.
I mean, I don't mind it, but I wouldn't go like
Mm.
super often. I have friends who I see they're there like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm like, ow. I mean, maybe because they're girls also, like the drinks are free. They just go show up, drink,
Oh, dear girls. Okay.
yeah, socialize, and then they go back. But then I think for a guy like, because I don't like to go into the club without a table. You don't have your own spot. You
You
have
mingled with
yeah,
everybody.
you
It
have
was
to be
like
basically at the dance floor or like drinks area and whatever, and it's like yeah, it's not really for me. So I like to go in with a table. I know who's coming, and then like if there are newcomers, then who are the friends bringing them in.
I see.
You know, like that, then it's like easier for me to like
Get into the conversation
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
You have to be aware of the social dynamic and social
Yeah.
awareness, right?
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's like my clubbing. Yeah, but basically in Australia, my life is very, very simple. I would literally just game, gym, eat, sleep, go to uni. That's it.
Routine, yeah.
Yeah,
Again and
and,
again. and
and
again.
in Australia, we have no attendance. It's up to you whether
Ah.
you want to go, and it's like you have only 2 days of classes.
Dude, the fuck?
Yeah,
2 days of classes.
at that time when I was taking 5, this 5 units is considered overloading. Yeah, I had 2 final year projects. I have 2 core units, which means they are the big ones, and 1 optional unit. I had 5 units, and it was 2-3 days of class.
Damn, and that's already overloaded.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's very chill right there.
Yeah. Over there it's chill. Lectures you don't have to attend because they're all recorded. And then for classes, some of them are recorded as well. So you don't have to, but obviously if you're there, you'll learn more and then you can ask questions, blah 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 blah. But there's consultations for that.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
That's basically the uni days. If you
Yeah.
like.
So in Australia it's like that. It's all up to you. Whether you want to go, whether you don't want to go. They are literally like, okay, the facilities are all here for you. You use them as you like.
Do you get bored?
Not really.
Not really.
Like I can literally just do
You-
nothing and then I'm like, oh, okay, let's go to the gym now. Okay, there I go. I come back, I eat. After I game with
see.
my friends. And then because there's a time difference, like when I first came the first year of uni, I would sleep at like 7 a.m. in Brisbane. Because in KL it's 5 a.m. for them.
All right.
Yeah, so they will finish at 5. I would finish at 7. My class is at 9.
9.
So I'll have 2 hours to sleep.
So then you go to class.
Yeah, I'll go to class, I'll come back and I'll just sleep.
Sleep for the whole day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically life for you.
Yeah,
back
and
in
then
uni days.
if I don't have class on that day, let's say I finish gaming at 7 a.m. I'll wake up at like 2 p.m. There'll be like maybe 2 hours. Because in Australia, things closes early. They close at 5.
I see.
So I'll wake up, I'll shower, be like, oh shit, I only have a few hours to go and shop. So I'll go, come back,
I'm back.
and then make my food, go gym,
Uh-huh.
come back,
I'm back.
game, wait until I get hungry, make food, continue gaming. That's it.
Okay. This is routine.
Yeah.
Again, yeah. Bro, you definitely come from money, right?
Okay lah.
You come from money. You come from... But, like, my question is, like, I observe that there are, like, a lot of rich kids who get a little bit too comfortable in their life. So they get a little bit too lazy. But you're definitely not one of them. Like, you
I
have
hope so.
ambition.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Like, what is it that drives you to start the business in the first place? You mentioned that you started, like, a sneakers business, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I think,
if you don't need the money, like, what's going on in your mind to make you want to start the
I don't know, I
business?
just wanted to, because I liked it, and then after that, the market was good at the time. So I was like, why not I just tap into it?
I see.
Yeah, I'm not the best reseller. I mean, I was very young when I started it, so some of the deals that happened, they are like quite bad.
I see.
As in, the terms were quite bad on my end. But I mean, you live and you learn, right? You're
Yeah, of
young,
course.
so might as well just try.
Yeah.
You know.
I think, like, there's a advantage when you start early because you get to do so many mistakes in the first
Yup.
place, so that when you're like 18, 19, 20, you I was dumb there, I was stupid, and then you can
Yeah.
relearn from that.
But of course, not everybody has that safety net.
Of
I mean,
course.
if you don't come from money,
Mm-hmm.
and you say you want to do this business, it's literally do or die. If you don't make it,
Yeah.
you know.
You have to make it work
Yeah.
in order to survive.
But
yeah.
for I think at that time I didn't have to worry like, oh, if let's say this thing doesn't go through, then you know.
You still have a safety
Yeah,
net.
I'm just like, okay.
Oh yeah, nothing to
Yeah.
lose.
But it's good and bad lah. It's good where, like, okay, yeah, you don't lose as much. But the bad thing is at the back of your mind, you're also thinking, yeah, why do I need to work so hard?
Ah, I see.
Right.
There's no, like,
Yeah,
pressure
yeah.
from you to make it fucking work, right? I see. Understand. What's the painful mistake that you make when you first started out?
Basically, trusting people like easily.
Trusting people
Yeah,
too easily.
Because when you're young, you think everybody is good, everybody is like on your side, but actually that's not the case. If you're young, it's easier for them to take advantage of you. That's all.
I see.
So you have to be very,
Cautious of people.
you have to be very smart. At reading the room, you need to think why are they there to help you.
I see.
If there's nothing good like
For them.
yeah,
Right. You
yeah,
have
it's
to.
like there's no point of them being so nice to you.
Makes
Like,
sense.
Yeah, do they earn any more from you? No.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So there has to be some.
Advantage that they get,
Yeah.
right? And you need to smell that out. Like, what is it that they're actually looking for from me,
Yeah.
so that you don't get used by them? Can you tell me the story behind it about this painful mistake that you make?
Damn, I can't recall, man.
Oh, okay.
Damn. But basically, like, there's a lot of these deals where it's like, they deal with you, you agree on a price, and then when you meet them,
Suddenly
hey, bro,
change.
can we do this price? I'm
It's like,
wait a minute, we
We
usually
made
have
it-
it in the chat.
Yeah.
We agree on this price.
Mm.
Then why suddenly it's like, oh
Sure.
no, I saw the condition of the shoe. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it's worth that price.
I
But you
see.
agreed. We have like, you accepted and I accepted. So why suddenly change?
I
I
see.
gave you all the pictures. I'm very transparent. I say, okay, this is the shoe, this is the condition, this is the flaws, and you're okay with it. You agreed on the price. Then why suddenly you change? Then it's like, oh, I didn't know it, but it was this bad. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like
I
let's say there's a scratch or whatever. So I didn't know your scratch was so deep. You know, I cannot clean this.
I see.
Then it's like, yeah. So, do you take the deal or do
You're
you not?
no, not. I see.
Yeah.
You don't compromise there.
I mean, like you have to think about it. Like if you're just trying to clear stock, then okay lah.
Okay.
The few, you know, the price whatever lah, just give it to them lah. You know,
I see.
it's their good day, I guess. Then, if it's something that okay, there's actually demand, then of course you can.
You keep it back.
Yeah, you can just say like, I mean, if you don't agree, then I'm sorry, we just wasted both our times, and I'll just find another buyer.
It's about bargaining power,
Yeah.
right? Who needs it most? Like if you feel like there's demand here, like you can keep it.
Yeah.
If you're just clearing stock, then screw it anyways. Okay. So one of the most painful mistake that you make when you first started out is actually trusting people too easily.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you learn from them is actually learning how to smell what is their underlying motivation
Yeah.
for working with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very interesting
It's
skill
a
set.
very cold, harsh
Harsh
world. Yeah.
right? People are trying to use you, and you need to not be so
Actually, they
naive.
are not really trying to use you. It's more like you give them the opportunity to do it. They might as well take it, right?
I see.
Yeah.
So it's about being smart enough, not giving them the opportunity to take advantage of you. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Can you talk to me about the current business that you're doing right now?
Basically, it's a franchise business. We do services as well as retailing. So we have products that we sell to our customers, and we provide services. So it's like a traditional Chinese beauty center lah, let's just call it. So we have a lot of like massage, we have guasa, cupping, earwax cleaning, hair growth. We do hair growth as well, and then there's a lot lah. There's a lot of products. I can't even keep up, man, because they. I'm very grateful for my staff there, because the lady who's in charge of my branch, she's actually very, very passionate
About this thing.
this business. Like she really believes
I see.
in how good like the benefits are of all the products. So she keeps bringing it from China, because it's a Chinese thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's from China. All the machines that she bring in from China as well.
Damn.
And like she really, really truly believes that everything that she does right there.
It seems like hiring the right people is very important. Yeah.
Definitely. I have staff which is like very demanding, and actually the funny thing is like the locals, they tend to demand more.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not too sure why, but it's probably because like they have higher knowledge, and I mean like they know like, oh, you know, they're educated, so they should be paid a certain amount. blah,
I
blah,
see,
blah.
I see.
Whereas for the people who are not as fortunate, they come to Malaysia looking for an
Yeah,
opportunity.
opportunity.
They just take whatever.
I see.
So
It's much more easier to work with them. People who are looking for job opportunities.
I mean, yeah, in a way it is easier, but the quality might not be the same as well.
Okay, fair point.
Like the amount of time it takes to train them might be longer than training somebody who's local or whatever.
I see. Pros and cons.
Yeah, so there's pros and cons lah, basically.
I see. So, can like, this is a bit personal, but do you mind like sharing like what's the most amount of money you've generated in a single year? You can
What,
put
year?
it, yeah, in a single year. You can put it in a range if you want to keep it a bit mysterious. So I can have a picture behind it.
I mean, it's definitely in the six figures lah.
6 figures.
6 figures, yeah. For ringgit lah.
Yeah, for ringgit. Yeah, 6 figures for ringgit. So certainly it doesn't start out and it suddenly booms to 6 figures, right? There's process in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Can you like tell me the story of like, in the first place, like what is it that made you think like, oh, I want to start this Chinese like
Actually,
beauty business?
The thing is, like, my dad is always looking out for all these opportunities.
I see.
And it just so happened he knows this partner, and then this partner's like, hey, why don't you just try? You
Okay.
know, it's very low risk and whatever. So then he put me in the company as a managing director, Then when I went in,
How old were you when you become
I
MD?
think it's 3 years ago already.
3 years ago, so
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
By the age of 20, you
Yeah.
were an MD.
Mm.
Holy shit, okay, that's
So I
impressive.
went in. I was very upfront with them. I said I'm not really experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about this industry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do? He said, don't worry, we will handle everything for you.
Okay.
Just come in once in a while. Then you can see how we run things, understand the business,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there you can decide what direction you want to go.
Oh.
Yeah, what marketing strategy you think works.
Mm.
All those things. So it's all like, just take your time. Just go in there. You see, do you like what they're doing? Do you see maybe like a new product that we should bring in? Those kind of thing lah. It's more external factors to help them grow.
Having mentor figures really help, yeah. Like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who are just much more experienced than you and can take you under their wing.
I think that's the best, isn't it? Like because we can't master everything,
True.
but you know like where to find somebody to do this, and do it well. Then one by one you have it all. You have your own team. Then definitely you grow on.
I see. So, finding the right people matters in the business, and finding the right mentor figure to help you carry them.
Yeah, I think you need a
under your wing.
mentor, and then you need a good group of people around you that are motivated and they're on the same page with you. They actually care for the company and they want it to grow. You'll fly.
Magic happens. I see. So it is definitely a 6-figure, yeah. It first started out that you don't really know what to do there,
Yeah.
but that your dad saw the opportunity there, like there's money here. So from the look of it, it seems to me that you don't really care so much about whether or not this job aligns with your passion. You only care about whether or
I
not
just want
this
to see,
job
like,
works
yeah,
or
exactly. Like if it works, okay, let's
not. Let's
yeah,
go.
Let's go.
So you don't give a fuck about passion.
Yeah. This one has no. I mean, like I personally, it's like I would rather do my own beauty stuff somewhere else, like with Western medicine and whatever, because that's what I believe.
I see.
But if we're making money out of this, we might as well take the opportunity.
I
right?
see.
If
I
the
see.
market is there to be tapped, then just tap it lah.
Free money, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't have to be things that we all enjoy, but like as long as it comes out, it comes out,
I see. So you don't really care about whether or not you enjoy the work that you're doing, but whether or not it's working financially.
Because like at the end of the day, you're still gaining experience and exposure, although it's different and you might not know anything, but it's still fine. Just go in there, just try. If it doesn't work,
Learn something new,
learn something,
absorb.
just change, and then something will eventually just come.
Okay, that's quite interesting. I heard this idea that there are basically 5 things that make you happy in your work. One is sufficient amount of challenge, right? Because if it's too heavy or it's too easy, you're gonna lose interest. Second one is actually a supportive group of people who can actually like push you forward, and that includes mentors. Third one is a sense of control, right? Because like like if you go to Indomaret, do you know Indomaret? Alfamaret?
Yes.
It's basically like toko serbaguna too, right? The people who work there are most likely work there not because they want to work there, right? But because they're forced to do it. I think that having like a sense of control, like you were in the position of MD because you chose to be there, right? You're not being forced.
Yeah.
Are you forced?
No.
No, right? You chose to be there. It makes you so much happier. I think that when it comes to job, what you do, it's not so much about whether or not it's your passion, but whether or not there is room for you to grow, to learn, and whether or not you're actually doing it out of your own will and your own willingness.
I mean,
right?
if you don't have the passion for it, long term it might be difficult. Because truth be told, you don't really care about it.
Exactly.
But if you have the passion, then everything actually goes align. But if you don't have the passion, at least just try.
Just try first. Just try first.
Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and then you can grow.
I see.
And then based on what you learn, you can bring it into something that you're actually passionate about.
Okay.
Instead of like just wasting time and
So,
whatever.
okay, that's a very interesting idea. So, passion isn't something that you're necessarily born with. Like, I was born passionate to be an artist, but it's something like you go into a uncomfortable situation, you learn how shit works together, you get good, and then you suddenly started to
Then
be
you have
passionate
that
about it.
extra, you might learn that extra thing that actually applies to something that I like.
Okay. That's interesting.
Because you're just exposing yourself more, essentially.
So passion isn't something that you're born with, but something that you find along the way when you
I think
expose
so.
yourself to very many different things.
I think something you're born with is a talent lah. Like how well you can find connections.
For
or,
sure.
Like, how well you can tell like, oh, okay, this business is actually good, so let's go here. Like some people, they really have that sense, you know, like
I see.
they can smell like, okay, this is good, let's go here. This no, like they can somehow find people. I have friends who
They can distinguish it, right?
Yeah,
which
yeah.
one's good, which one's not.
I
see.
So I mean, those are things that you're born with.
What's your talent?
I have no idea, man.
What?
I think for me, it's like I like to find things.
You like to
That's
find
all.
things.
Yeah,
Very curious.
yeah. I just think like, okay, if I want this, okay, let's put an analogy lah. Let's say a bottle, right? Let's say this bottle. So in a bottle, what are the essential functions that are important? Okay, and what features would make it exceptionally good? Yeah. So for
Okay.
example, a good bottle is what? Good quality, you know, and then maybe the way, you know, that
The flip.
how you open and everything, you know, is
Maybe
there-
it keeps the heat, or it doesn't get easily broken when it falls.
So all those things, you need to know what makes a good bottle 1st. After that, you find, okay, let's say materials. What materials are good for this? So
Oh.
you look into it, and then you're like, oh, okay, so this material, okay, and then after that, what is the appropriate amount? Like what size? What is
Okay.
too heavy? What is too little?
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing.
I think that it seems to me that your talent is asking the right questions.
Yeah, you
you
just
know.
have to find one by one. It's slow because you are like trying to be nitpicky about everything, but then when you actually can find all of it and then put it together, your end product might be actually something that's really, really good.
I see.
Yeah.
So in order for you to develop a product, all you have to do is actually asking the right questions. Okay, what makes this product exceptionally good, right? What are the character traits? Or maybe A, B, C, D, E. And then you finally ask, okay, where do we get material A? Where do we get material B? La, 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 la.
Yeah. What are the pros and cons, whatever. And then
That's interesting.
if you look at it that way, there's more, it's like a map. Because like, okay, let's say you have material A, B, C, then pros and cons. So that's another like branch. of
Another
the map.
branch again.
And then from there you expand. And then everything becomes very clear.
I see.
And then you can make a decision on, okay, if I go for this, what is this? Where's the supplier? What are the pros and cons? Blah, 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 blah. And then you condense it, everything, and then you have this.
That's fucking interesting.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So
So
if you don't know where to go, right? You're all over
you're
the
confused.
place.
What decision should I take?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because
So you should just think about it. Okay, what are pros and cons? And then from there you go into
okay.
yeah.
I think that your talent is logical thinking, right?
Organizing everything.
Organizing
Yeah.
everything, information, so that you can see the big picture, and then you can see if I take decision A, it's gonna go this way. Decision B, Is that like a talent that your father has?
I have honestly no idea, but
No idea.
probably lah.
Probably,
Because I see him doing a lot of planning, a lot of calculating for like investments or whatever. Like a lot of his suppliers, frankly, say like it's annoying to work with him
Why?
because it's annoying because he's very calculative. He knows where he can save, and then, but essentially he does it for the company. You know, if he can save any amount, the company will earn more,
I see.
right? So he has the knack of like, okay, this machine he wants, okay, that's so and so, okay, this does this. If it's about 80 to 95% the same, and I can get it for a lower price, why don't I just
I
do that?
see. I see.
Right? I save costs for the company. We are making almost the same thing as good
Quality,
quality.
yeah. Then why not go for the
Yeah.
lower price? Right. I see.
That's why he hates designer brands. Because
Really?
designer brands, like you buy a bag.
There's no logic behind it.
Yeah, that's like a $2,000, 2,000% markup. Like, why would you go for that, right? They all do the same thing. So he doesn't have the same understanding for prestige and like what the logo does, like essentially.
I see. I see.
So that's where me and him are very different, lah. Like I appreciate the brands,
the
like,
fine things
yeah,
of
like,
life.
not to say the fine things that's in the history of the brand and whatever, but his points are also valid. Like, why would you spend 2,000% more on the same thing, right?
When you could have got something lower with the same amount of quality, more or less.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Okay. That's
So
cool.
this is where we are different.
Was there a really difficult and dark moment that you faced in your journey as a business owner?
Just feeling lost, lah.
Feeling lost?
Yeah, because like I said, you don't know where to go, what direction to take, right? And then not everything you can rely on everybody, right?
Really?
Sometimes you have to think back to yourself. Does this make sense? Blah 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 blah. So, although you can map out everything, the map can be huge, right?
Yeah.
So it can get confusing as well.
It's a bit overwhelming, yeah.
It can be overwhelming. So when you keep thinking and keep thinking and you keep thinking,
Yeah, it actually goes into a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it makes you think like, oh, should I really do this?
And you started to self-doubt yourself.
Yeah, it's like there's so much here. What if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't work out? What if
okay.
supplier suddenly cannot give me this? So there will be a lot of what ifs and a lot of doubts. But sometimes you just have to be like, okay,
Fuck it. Let's take the shot.
yeah, let's just try.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So it seems to me like your strength is actually like mapping out, organizing thoughts, but at the same time, this strength could also be like one of the biggest obstacle in your life because you think too much, you map things so much, and then to the point that it gets a little bit overwhelming, to the point that you don't really know what to do, and there's doubts whether or not this will work. What if this doesn't work? And then you have to find another branch again. You make another branch.
Which now that I think about it, right, my dad is literally facing the same thing
Really?
because there's a lot of opportunity, like investment opportunities that come to him, but because he keeps counting and counting and counting,
And then
all
suddenly
of
gets
it
lost
is-
in the numbers.
Yeah, all of it suddenly seems unfeasible.
I see.
Yeah, that is something I just realized actually just now, like thinking back.
You're very similar to your dad. Is that something
Yeah.
that you've realized?
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, maybe we have that similarity. Well, that's where I got it from, lah. Essentially, I guess.
From your dad, basically.
yeah.
From watching him basically work things out, yeah. That's very cool. Okay. So, it seems to me that in order to be a good business owner, you have to be balanced in both sides, like, yeah. In one sense, you have to figure things out. You need to think things through, but at the same, there's also
time
like
where you have to let go.
there's time where you just slow down with your thoughts and just like let's fucking try it.
Yeah.
Let's just take the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But then you cannot like YOLO things out in the business owner.
I mean, some people they actually just YOLO,
YOLO
and
it
works.
without any thinking process.
But
right?
actually, like sometimes that might be the best actually.
Really?
Because no matter what path you're going, there always be problems, right?
for sure.
So those people I think who just YOLO it, right? They're like whatever comes, we
and
solve
then
it.
you figure out on the spot.
You
right?
move and you just do it.
That's
and then-
interesting.
Yeah, I think that's also a possible strategy, but of course that is for a business that actually is proven to work lah. If you're not too sure about the market and whatever, then that's a bit risky. But if it's a stable like field that you're going in, right? I think the
YOLO part
might,
is actually.
might actually work.
So it actually depends on what you're working in,
Yeah,
right? What
definitely.
industry you're working in. Like if you're operating a giant company, you cannot do
Ah,
YOLO,
that one-
right?
that one is
It's
different
fucking
lah.
stupid.
Yeah, that's different.
Suicide.
Yeah.
I see. But if you're working in a small, maybe it's like a small scale company in an industry that is relatively safe, you can do YOLO. You figure shit out together. You make mistakes, and you're like, okay. I think that one of the things that I've been learning a lot, is that there's this lot of successful people. What makes them different is that they're very quick to take action, right? So an opportunity gives them this, and then they're like, okay, give me like the main point about it. Okay, sounds good. Let's try.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Okay,
Yeah.
screw it. What are the other things that we can try? They keep on trying shit out, keep on
Until
exposing
something works
themselves
lah.
until something
Yeah.
works. Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're just thinking behind the desk, like
And you're
whether
not- yeah.
will this work, will that
never
work?
start the
You
business
never
lah.
start the
Yeah,
business,
you won't
and
do
you
it.
never figure things out, right? So actually, like having that YOLO mindset of just let's fucking take the shot, and then let's figure shit out together on the spot. It actually makes you feel like, oh shit, this is not working out. This is working out, and then maybe I should go this
Yeah.
way, this way.
It's very humbling
Yeah.
sometimes actually, because in your mind you're already like, okay, I have everything mapped out. So why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Like everything is perfect, so why isn't it working? So it's sometimes you have to humble yourself, take it by the chin, and be like, okay, we need to turn back, we need to reposition ourselves, and then after that we see from there how it goes.
I see.
Yeah.
Learning how to slow
Yeah, you have
down.
to, sometimes you have to put your ego aside
Mm.
and be like, and be like, yeah, I made the mistake, so let's go back to the drawing board. Let's see how we can actually change our direction and go somewhere else.
I
Because
see.
this way, although on paper it seems perfect, but it's not.
It's not working.
It will never be that case one.
I see.
Yeah.
The plan doesn't always
It will never-
align
yeah.
with the real thing. Yeah. I see. So learning how to say, yeah, I made a mistake, right? But still keeping your chin up,
Yeah.
not being depressed, right?
I mean, you have to be accountable for it, lah.
For
mean,
sure.
Don't if it doesn't work, you don't go back to your team and be
Blaming
like, "Yo,
people."
Like, I did everything, I researched everything, and it's not working. So you guys are not doing your marketing is not doing their job or whatever.
I see.
I mean, there could be some
Problem there.
problem there, or like they're not aligned with you. You are telling them X on paper. It says X, but
X.
actually you're thinking Y.
Y.
Because you cannot put everything. Actually, I think for designers they have this problem.
Mm.
Like their clients want something, but they don't know how to tell them.
Okay.
So when they design the thing, it's actually not what they want.
What? Okay.
No, cause like okay, let's say I want a table there.
Huh.
I don't know how to tell my team that I want a table there. Then of course they're not gonna give the table one.
Because they're not really listening to.
They don't understand what I want.
They're not
They are
listening
not on the
to
same
you.
page lah, basically.
I see.
Ah.
So, one of the ways that designer brands can solve their problem is actually by really listening
No,
to.
it's not. It's your client itself. If they don't express what they want properly, like if there's no understanding, that's one thing. But also, if the person who's giving the idea isn't giving it accurately, it's also a problem.
Oh, fair point. Fair
Right.
point. So it's not only about listening properly,
Yeah.
but it's also about really understanding, like to the core, like what do you really want?
Yeah.
I see.
So you know there might be some misalignment or whatever. Then you have to turn back and then solve that first before you can continue.
Good to continue again. I see.
So that's I think for a business is very important lah.
I think that from what I've listened to you, one of the marks of a great business owner is one, accountability, right? Learning how to say, I did something wrong here. Let's figure shit out again. And then the second one would be learning how to think through the options. And the third one, learning how to take the shot immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Also,
you
you-
figure shit out on the road.
It might sound cliche, but like sometimes you just have to leave it to God.
Yeah,
I
to
don't know
God.
if you believe in God,
I
but
do believe in God.
so for me it's like sometimes not everything is in our control, right?
Fair point.
So having a figure to
Trust.
just just leave it.
I
leave
did
it
my
to God.
I did
Yeah.
my best here. I did all that I could.
Yeah, and it might turn out for the better.
My and I give it to you. Whatever you want. Okay, that's cool.
I think for me God is very interesting as well
Really?
because
Sorry, are you Christian?
yeah.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah.
I see.
So like let's say you want to be patient, God will give you a lot of situations for you to
Exactly.
be patient, right?
Exactly.
And that's how you get it.
yeah.
But the process you will absolutely hate
it.
right?
That's
So
true.
it's very interesting, like that kind of analogy. I always tell my friends that, and then thinking back, it's like it's very very interesting.
Very funny. Yeah, I've ever heard of this quote. Like, the things that you're looking for is actually found in the things that you don't want to look for.
Yeah, lah.
You want patience.
Yeah, lah. Essentially,
How
right?
how are you gonna find patience by going through shit a lot?
Yeah.
By going through lots of
Yeah.
things that are just making you
Yeah.
impatient, and then you actually develop that patience.
Exactly.
That's
So
cool.
I find that very interesting. lah. Yeah.
Do you think that everyone can be like a business owner?
Yeah, I think so. Whether you have the talent for it is another thing. If you're gifted with it, then that's different story. That's
But what
that's
about your
individual
dad?
already.
You
Yeah,
mentioned.
I don't think he's a gifted business owner. Like an owner, no. But working for someone with a team behind him, I think he can succeed.
I see.
Yeah.
So there are just certain people who are gifted to be a business owner, but there are also people who are just better off
Yeah.
making their own
In like
team.
corporate and whatever.
corporate and
and it's
everything.
completely fine,
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's
there.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I see. Okay, but if that's the case, like, what's the characteristics that make this person suitable to be a business owner? What are the characteristics that these people who are better off working in corporate don't have?
I don't know. It's very hard. Like, for me to, I think, okay. If you struggle finding connections and making use of them, then I think you might be better off in corporate
I see.
because there it's more linear, right? You do your job well, you get a promotion, whatever, blah blah blah. Whereas for a business, it's like if you're alone
It cannot work.
and you're forever alone, and you don't know where to find for help,
It's not gonna work.
yeah, it's not gonna work.
I see. So one of the most essential fundamental skill in order for you to be a great business owner
Networking.
is actually networking. Finding the right people, finding the right mentors, right?
Actually, in fact, now, right, I'm doing this money changer thing with Yoriko's mom. Actually, the gym is like a really good place for me to network, to be honest. Because the people in here are like,
Fucking rich people.
yeah, exactly. So, the other day, the trainer introduced me to two people. One is he's working in concrete and doing stone mining.
Oh shit. Okay.
As I know, in Jakarta, like for people who are in the mining industries, especially if they're directors, they're all very
Fucking rich.
Yeah, very rich. And then the second guy who was there is like a hot pot restaurant owner, Chongqing. Apparently he's new. So I met them and I was like, I said, wow, like maybe I should make use of
These connections,
just
right?
saying hi to these people. And true enough, the day I met him, the stone mining guy, we already did a transaction.
What the fuck,
Yeah,
really?
he needed like some AUD, then we did it already. So it's like sometimes all these things are not planned, right?
Yeah.
It's just God that placed them there, and then after that you're like, oh,
Take the opportunity,
yeah.
right?
So sometimes don't be afraid to just strike a conversation or whatever, which is honestly something I'm not used to.
Learn how to say hello to
Yeah.
people, right?
Don't be so caught up in your shell. Sometimes you have
okay.
to open up. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You're not gonna like everyone.
For
Not
sure.
everybody's gonna like you, but it's okay. You can be just work. Like okay, I help you, you help me, and then that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
But besides that, we are just at arm's length. Yeah.
We're basically business partners, not friends.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool. So, one of the things that you've learned recently is just not to be into your own shirt, but learn how to
You have
be
to
a little bit
explore
exposed.
Yeah.
Learn how to say hello to people.
Especially for me, like I'm starting. Okay, so obviously for money changer business, you need to know people who actually want to exchange.
For sure.
And I'm coming to a country where I basically know no one besides you guys. So for me to network, I have to find, okay, where am I going to do this? Where am I going to find my network of people? And then just so happened,
Dang!
the gym.
Opportunity.
And it immediately came. Immediately the same day we did a deal. Done.
That's amazing.
And then he said, oh, thanks bro, like for your help, your rates are good, and then if everything's efficient, you gave me the money and
All good.
everything was smooth.
Professional.
I will let my office know like about your services if any of them needs help.
That's impressive.
So that's like I think how it slowly starts lah. Yeah.
That's very impressive. So, in a sense, like God gives you like each of us like these opportunities, golden opportunities.
Yeah. Which is something that I'm afraid of actually, because like we only have a set amount of opportunities. If we keep closing them, right, there will be a point where it runs out.
Runs out, right?
And there's no one to blame except yourself because you keep closing them.
Y-
It is true that God says with every door that's closed, another door will open. But the opportunity, the time might actually run out. Right?
Exactly. You're not young forever.
Yeah.
Right. So when the door is open, fucking smash through it.
Yeah.
Seize it.
Yeah. I mean, take it, but then of course, don't just rush into it.
Oh.
You still need to.
Be cautious.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just slow down, lah.
Slow
basically.
down a bit.
Slow down, and then after that, slowly just follow the flow of it.
There's always a fine balance, between everything.
Yeah, I think everything.
Everything has a
to be
balance.
Yeah.
Like you cannot be just keep on going YOLO and striking
There will
up.
be a point where you have to come down also. Yeah. The YOLO you might work for a while and then
And you have to slow down a bit. Learn how to discern people, whether or not this is a right match, and then take the shot. That's interesting. It's like God gives you these golden opportunities, and then like it's up to you whether or not you want to take it. So learn how to take it.
Yeah.
I think that learning how to be okay with rejection
Yes.
also is very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But also you yourself learning when you should say no to things.
I see.
Yeah, that's also very important.
That's interesting. Okay.
Because like I mean, if you let's say you hang out with this really rich friend and all they do is go shopping and whatever, and then they keep asking, hey bro, why don't you buy this? Why don't you
You're
buy
gonna be
this?"
broke. Exactly.
Yes, they are at that level that they can do it. And then if you can't, it's okay.
I see.
There's no harm. If it's something that you actually can afford and then you actually really like it, then okay, go ahead. But if you can't, then there's no point like chasing them,
I see.
keeping up with them. So this
Learn your limits,
Yeah.
right? And don't go overstep it, because it's gonna be catastrophic for you financially. You're basically like spending more than you earn, and it's gonna be a problem.
to just keep up with
To keep up with your friends, like limit yourself. I think it comes down to self-awareness, isn't it? Like
yeah, I
being
guess.
aware.
Yeah. But it's also like your face lah, you know.
Mm.
Like some people, they want to look apart,
Yeah.
you know, with the same, everybody's the same. But sometimes it is hard. Because when I was in high school, I felt that everybody was chasing my level.
Okay.
Everybody wants to be with me.
Mm.
Because so basically in in a government school, not everybody comes from money. In fact, I would say maybe like, I don't know, 1/5 people
1/5.
there
Mm-hmm.
come from money. The rest are ordinary people. Yeah, so everybody at that time, I would say even my high school friends who are still in contact with me,
Mm-hmm.
they will still be looking up, thinking that I'm very far to reach, you know.
Yeah.
But when I came out of school and I actually met more people, then I start to realize there are different levels.
There are different levels of the
Well,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
To
I might
riches.
be here, and then my high school friends might be thinking, might be here, and they're trying to chase me. But
But there are
I'm also
people
chasing.
even there.
Yeah,
People still
even
up
further
there.
away. So
I see.
it's like it's never ending chase, you know. So just be okay with
What you have right now.
like this is where I can afford, and yes, I can dream of all those things. I have to do something to reach them, or else I'll forever be here lah, and I can't get those things.
I see. I talked with Chanderson about this.
Mm.
Like, I think it's very important, yeah, to have a combination between appreciation and ambition. Right.
Yes.
So,
Very,
in a sense, like you have ambition to keep on chasing to the next level of the game, next level of wealth,
Yep.
next level of richness, but at the same time, you also have the sense of appreciation to, yeah, I already have enough here. I'm happy. I'm grateful for it. But at the same time, you look forward and you see like, oh, there's even more levels, and you keep on going
I
forward
would say
again.
both is a double-edged sword.
Mm.
Because thing is like, one of the killer to success is like,
Contentment, right? Being
Yeah.
too comfortable.
as well as success itself.
Really?
Because the more successful you become, you're like, oh, I'm already making so much money. Why do I need
You
to put so much
chill
effort?
right now.
No, relax lah. It's okay. No problem. You know, the business will just run by itself and whatever. So that's, ironically, success is also the
One
killer
of the killer of success. Yeah, this is fucking interesting.
Right?
This is a very interesting
Yeah,
idea.
So it's
yeah.
a double-edged sword.
Huh.
So you just have to balance it.
Mm.
To what extent, you know, you can,
Be-
yes, of course, be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
But to be frank, nobody compares downwards, right?
Of course.
Everybody compares upwards.
Upwards.
So, of course, take your time to appreciate and be content with what you have. But you can't be comfortable in that because
Exactly.
just because you have this
That's
now
true.
doesn't mean you have it in the future, right? So that's why it's always better to go up.
Go upward
Yeah.
again.
But
I see.
also, it's like if you're never happy,
Uh-huh.
then even if you
Everything is gonna be
Yeah.
nothing.
let's say I have like 10 RM watches and like supercars and
Yeah.
hypercars, but I'm like,
It's very funny, yeah.
right?
Very funny.
Yeah.
Like being too ambitious and not taking the time to appreciate what you have. Even when you have all the karting watches and all the supercars, you cannot enjoy them because you always keep on looking
Yeah.
forward, but you're never looking to what you have, what's in front of the table right now.
It's funny lah.
It's very funny, yeah. If you think about it,
Yeah.
Being too ambitious is dangerous. Being too comfortable is dangerous.
Yeah.
Always requires a fine balance between the different spectrum of the characteristic of being ambitious, but at the same time also appreciating, of looking forward, comparing upward, but also being like content when happy with already what you have.
I think just enjoy the process because a lot of us, for example, like when I bought my watch or whatever, it's like the process of getting there, that chase.
That's actually
is
the fun
that's
part.
the dopamine.
That's the
actually.
fun part, right? Exactly.
Because when you buy it already,
it's like-
and then you see the money out of your
Okay.
bank account or whatever, then you have it. You look at it, you're like,
Okay, that's it.
okay, and
And that's it, right?
so okay, let's say you already have this watch, so and so. Let's say you have a Rolex. Yes, a Rolex is a big thing, but like there's so many watches out there that are like
Even
there's AP, there's Patex, and whatever.
there's levels.
Yeah, so you have it, and then in your mind you're already like, oh, I need another.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
I see.
So the contentment, right? If you're too content for too long, right, you'll just be like,
You
you know what?
chill.
This is unattainable. I'll just be happy here. You know?
Yeah.
So if you really, really want to be rich, right, I think it's impossible. That you have to
Keep on looking forward.
yeah,
Keep
you
on
have to be
comparing
crazy.
upward.
Like you have
Obsessed.
to be crazy about money essentially.
I see. That's the requirement for you in order to be rich and wealthy. Obsessment.
But of course, this is what we are referring wealth to right now is obviously money and your whatever
Material possession.
material possessions that you have lah. But for everybody, wealth might
Be in a different form.
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
Loving
yeah,
relationship.
thinking like I can afford my groceries. I have a car. I have a house. This is what I call rich.
But
I'm happy. Okay. If you're okay with that,
that's okay.
that's fine. Then you are rich. But if you are actually trying to be like
Crazy rich.
yes, then you have to be crazy obsessed. I think
I
with
see.
looking up, you cannot be content, or else once the momentum stops, right, it's very hard to.
To get it back
Yeah.
on track again. That's interesting. So once there's momentum in it, you just
You
have
just
to
ride.
keep on
Yeah.
pushing on the gas.
Yeah.
Right? And then you fly upward. I think it works the same with the money dealer deal, right? A money changing deal. When you get the momentum already with that one guy,
Yeah.
and then that guy refers you
Yeah.
to another one, you keep on putting
Exactly.
your foot on the
Yeah,
gas. You don't stop there.
Yeah.
You,
One from like 1 to 2
two,
to 4
three,
to
four.
4. Yeah.
Compounding.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. So when opportunity keeps on rolling in, you shouldn't be comfortable enough. Like I have enough already. I make
have so
some
many clients that are coming. I don't need to find new people already.
No. You have to keep on pushing the gas and keep on flying upward.
Of course, it's good to have all these returning ones, but they won't be there forever. You still need new people. Yeah.
I see.
So
Keep on looking forward again,
yeah.
being exposed. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting, Kevin. It seems to me that you're very disciplined. From the gym.
I hope so. I mean, from the gym, yes.
From the gym.
But maybe from certain things, I'm not. But
I think it's very funny. A funny idea, yeah. So when people say like, "Are you disciplined?" It seems like in certain areas, yes, I'm disciplined. In other areas, I'm not disciplined.
Yeah.
Right. It just depends on whether or not you actually cared and enjoyed what that thing is. Okay, that's cool. When I was preparing the podcast, yeah, I looked to your IG for some reference of how you look in the past, and then you changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like a fucking a lot, man.
yeah.
I looked at your IG, I was like, who was the skinny kid, right? In 2018, and then in 2024, I think in June, you posted the Mercedes car, and then you become very big. I was like, what the fuck, this guy?
Yeah.
That's a lot of transformation.
Yeah.
I think that every person, has a story behind them that made them wanted to work out, right? For example, like Shanderson, he's big guy, right? The reason why he started to work out, is because like he feels like, oh my god, like his surroundings and his people are just so much more jacked.
Yeah.
So he feels like he needs to level up his game. For me personally, it's because like there's this funny story. Like I work in the optical store with my dad, right? One optical store, and there's this employee across, because across is basically my dad's sister optical store. That employee like grabbed my chest, and at that time I was like, how should I say? Like not solid chest, but like berlemak, right? Fatty chest. And it's like she said something like, "Oh my god, your breast is bigger than mine." I was like,
Yeah.
I
get that.
I'm speechless.
Yeah,
Right? I
I
was
get
speechless.
that.
From then on, I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not okay with it,
Yeah.
and I started to work out. It was embarrassment that pushes me to the gym. Question is like, what pushes you to the gym? What drives you?
I started gymming when I was 18.
18.
I mean, I started the interest of it when I was 18, but I hated the gym at that time.
You hated the gym.
I hated it because I didn't know what I was going there to do. And then it looks very intimidating.
I see.
And the whole environment for me, because like I said, I'm not very adventurous in that sense. I don't do well in a new environment that I don't know what to expect. And so yeah, at that time, I got a membership.
Okay.
So I was in this college called Sunway, and they have a gym called
Sunway?
Yeah.
I know Sunway. Yeah.
So Sunway has a gym called Sun Gym.
Sun Gym. Okay.
And,
Sun Gym.
Because my course there was 8 months,
Okay.
I signed up for gym there, which was 6 months.
Okay.
I went twice. And the 2 times that I went there, I didn't even pick up a single dumbbell.
What did you do?
Just cardio.
Cardio.
I was just on the treadmill, and I didn't even know what I was doing on the treadmill.
You're just walking there.
I was just like accompanying my friends who
Oh.
actually do enjoy the gym.
I
but
see.
then at the time, I didn't know why I didn't ask them, or like
For
they
her.
didn't offer to like
Help you.
yeah, like, oh, like, why don't you come and try this or something? But at the same time, it's fine. I mean, like, it is what it is, right? So, at the time when I was 18, when I was 18, my perception of gym didn't change lah.
I see.
I wanted to get into it, but I didn't know how. So, then I met this girl.
Okay. Okay.
And then they had a thing. And then it ended badly.
Okay.
So, I just wanted an escape lah. So I started the gym.
Ah, okay.
But at that
That's
time-
interesting.
At that time, I was following like a circuit type of workout, which frankly, the routine was boring, and I didn't see any results.
Okay.
So my motivation for the gym also dipped. And at that time, I entered. And I had no wait. So okay, so at that time, I was doing the circuit thing. I had one friend who would go to the gym with me,
Okay.
and he also is not really super into the gym. He's just following me. So I'm bored, he's bored, we're doing the same thing. You know, his motivation, he actually wants to like lose weight and
Okay.
you know become
Jacked.
lean lah, basically.
Lean, okay, lean.
So he's following me. I'm not really enjoying myself. He's seeing, you know, the energy will radiate to each other. Right? You both are just going there, you don't know what you're doing, and then you don't see any results. You're like, what's the point? So yeah, okay, college done. I went to Australia, and then there I actually met people who are very into the gym,
Motivated.
as in like yeah, motivated, and then they have knowledge. That was the most important thing. They actually know what they're doing.
I see.
So I'm very grateful that I met them, and then they actually taught me, and then from there I tweak it a little bit. So I was still doing the circuit workout, but with different a bit more different workouts lah, basically like more variety. And then when I was there, I started to eat a lot.
Bulking?
Yeah, basically bulk, but I didn't realize it was
Oh,
a bulk.
it's just dirty bulking.
Yeah.
Just eat everything.
Yeah, so I was just eating and eating and eating, and when I came back to KL half a year later, I went up like 10 to 15 kilos.
10, 15 kilos. In a good way or in a bad way?
Bad way.
Bad
So
way.
it's just fats.
Fat, okay.
Then after that, I bulked. I came back. My friend who went with me previously, he was like, "Oh, why don't we restart again since you're back?"
Okay.
Right. Not long later, COVID. So again stopped.
Okay, stop. Okay.
And then after that, fast forward until 2022. So it means that whole period of time I was just fat lah. Until 2022 when I met my current best friend. So he, at his peak, he was like 110 kilos, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and now he's 80.
Sorry, 110 jacked or 110?
No, fat.
Fat.
Yeah.
Fat. Okay.
And that's because he met his girlfriend, and then they went eating lah. There's a lot of eating.
I
because he
see.
loves food, and then he loves like desserts, chocolates. and whatever.
Okay.
So there's this cafe, like a restaurant cafe thing called Dip and Dip.
Dip and dip, okay.
In KL, and it's basically chocolate desserts.
Oh shit.
Bro,
Okay.
his entire picture of his Dip and Dip is more than my entire gallery. My whole gallery now versus just his Dip and Dip. He probably has more pictures.
Okay.
So that's how much he ate it.
Okay. Okay.
So he went up to 110. He played futsal.
What the fuck?
And
Okay.
then he snapped his ACL.
He
because
snapped
it was
his ACL, too heavy.
And he didn't do legs at the time.
Okay.
So his legs were weak, but his top was okay lah.
Ah,
like
okay.
quite strong. He snapped his ACL, and from there he realized, oh shit, I need to strengthen my legs.
My legs too.
Yeah.
I see.
So I met him after he recovered from his ACL injury, which is God's blessing.
God's blessing, really.
Putting him into my life
Ah.
is God's blessing, and
Why?
at that timing as well. So I'll come back to that.
Okay, sure.
So basically, we started playing Valorant together first. So that's how it started, and then turns out he was actually my neighbor, just across. Yeah, the next neighborhood.
You don't know that he's your
I
neighbor?
didn't know, and I was staying there for like more than 10 years, and I didn't know, and he's staying even longer than me.
What the fuck?
So we were
Okay.
across each other,
Uh-huh.
and then we met up in person after maybe 2-3 months of playing online together, and then from there the friendship started lah. And that's when I truly became focused in the gym.
In the gym. I
5
see.
days a week.
Hmm.
Every time it's with him lah.
I see.
Mm.
So one of the first reason is because of the girl,
Yup.
right? There's probably the girl finally
But
find
now-
escape,
Yeah.
but
now
now
it's different. Now it's just for health.
for health.
I think it's good for anybody to do weight training,
Mm.
especially older people, because for older people, it's harder for them to gain muscle mass.
True.
So once it's gone, it's so hard to build back.
These are the golden years,
Yeah.
right? These are the golden opportunity to build muscle right
Yeah.
now. I
So
see.
even for our parents, actually, we should actually advise them to take like creatine,
Creatine.
and actually go
Exercise a bit,
do
you know.
weightlifting and whatever. They don't need to carry heavy weights, but at least do a little bit.
Muscle mass has an correlation to your longevity, right? To how long you're living.
Because like let's say you don't have muscle mass, how are you going to walk?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And once you don't do anything, our parents are, leg pain, I don't want to move my leg.
That's
worse.
actually yeah. You when legs are hurting, you actually need to
Yeah.
train it,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you don't have to hit it hard, but just a little bit,
Bit.
walk a little bit and whatever.
I heard from my friend who studies doctor. Yeah, he said that when you grow older, your bone mass decreases, right?
Exactly.
And if your bone mass decreases, there's less support for your body. So in order for you to actually how do you say compensate for the loss of the muscle, for the loss of the bones, is actually by gaining muscle mass,
Yeah.
so that there's like stability and you can support yourself, right? Like one of the biggest reasons why old people die is because they fall.
Yeah.
Why do they fall? Because their bones are weak.
Yeah.
Why the bones cannot support themselves? Because there's low muscle mass. Exactly.
So it all comes back to the same thing. So I think weightlifting is good for everybody. So
Whether you're young or old,
yeah,
it's so good
for me. I actually don't have a dream body or whatever. I just want to be healthy, to look strong, and
functional.
yeah,
Right.
And everybody around me is doing the same thing.
I see.
That's the blessing about these people, like these friends that I met. Everyone is doing it.
I see.
It's crazy where to the point where when we travel together,
You go to the gym.
we gym.
You go to the
and
gym.
it's incorporated into each of us separately, which means like, okay, let's say my best friend's sister goes on a holiday, they still gym. When I go on a holiday, I still gym.
Gym.
Even though we are separated, we still have it. Yeah.
I see.
So I don't know. It's just something that's ingrained into us.
It's very interesting, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the people that's around you is important as well.
Not only about choosing the right people that you work with, not only choosing the right mentors that could guide you, but choosing the right friends also matters a lot,
Yeah, yeah.
because it will influence your behavior. Like if you keep on going out with people who just keep on going shopping, most likely you will be stupid and
Yeah.
buying a lot of impulsive
You're the
things.
average of the five.
Average of the five closest
around you
people.
lah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you surround yourself with people who go to the gym, who are healthy, who have good habits, who have good mindset about financial literacy, you become like them.
Exactly. Damn. So it's very important.
Choosing the right people, yeah.
That's why,
very-
for me, that's why I told you, I have a filter.
Mm.
So the people that is introduced to me by my close friends,
Mhm.
the filter, of course, I believe that they have done a layer of filtering. So for me, I don't have to take
I
too
see.
big of a effort, to filter them. So I'm not as at arm's length with them, but at the same time, you are still not going to appeal to everybody.
For sure.
So you still need to learn, but more likely than not, because they can vibe with your best friend, they'll be able to
Which
vibe,
vibe with you too.
Yeah. Like you eventually form like a team lah. Like one of my friends, he's in the bank. He can look up like for certain things for me. Some friends who are in F&B, if I'm thinking of an idea, I can go to them like, hey, is this good?
I see.
If it's good, he's like, yeah, maybe there's potential. Maybe we can do something.
Damn.
Some people who are in like social media, they're making content, and then you want a way to market your business.
You can go to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like a team. Everybody has their own functions, and all of you have this
Special skill.
common goal. Yeah, you all of you have a special skill, right?
And then you're united with one common goal.
Exactly. It's becoming rich together, having that brotherhood, that
God
bond. So I think for me that's what's really valuable. And I think God has truly given me that opportunity lah now. Because if I met them when I was younger, I don't think I would appreciate them
For sure.
the same way that I do now. Yeah.
Because right now you're different, right? You develop an understanding like shit, this is precious.
Yeah.
These friends are valuable, unique skill set, any one of them, but united with the same goal to get rich together. You have that sort of brotherhood. It's fucking.
Yeah.
I think those are the things that you cannot buy with money.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Trust, friendship,
But because, like,
brotherhood.
let's say your personality is dog shit. They're not gonna like you. You're
True.
not going to have this sit bond
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
So it's something that you yourself have to work on as well. You need to know I have to be so and so that these people will like you. But of course, don't be fake. Be genuine.
Authentic.
But you have to read the room lah. Don't
For
be
sure.
too crazy or
Again, balance, yeah. Be authentic, but at the same time, understand the social dynamic behind it. Don't be too crazy. That's interesting.
Or going on a tangent here.
Uh-huh.
So they are like very firm Christian believers.
Okay.
They own a church.
They own a
Yeah,
church?
so they own a church. And the funny thing is, my mom, when I was younger, she wanted me to go to church
Okay.
because she believes that God is good and everything. And at that time, because I didn't understand it, I absolutely hated it lah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated going to church. It's like, what's the point? I'm being forced to come here. I don't understand the message. I have nobody there. So at the time, I had a bad perception of the church as well. And then when I met my current best friends, they eased me into going to church and whatever, exposing me more and more to God. Then eventually it becomes also more natural. So your path with God also is like more natural, more linear. So it's like the timing and everything. It has to be God's plan. What else can it be, right?
Bro. Yeah, you are insanely blessed by God, man.
Exactly.
Insanely blessed.
Like even meeting Yoriko is like COVID. We met on an online class,
Huh.
and then now we're here.
Yeah.
Like how those pieces don't
mesh suddenly, all of them combined together.
Exactly. Like how does that work if it's not by God?
I
So
see.
before this, when I was younger, I didn't really think about all these things. But then now, with my belief in God, I slowly have a you are like, is God really real? Does He really do things for you?
And then
Like,
you look back
they
to your
claim-
life.
yeah. So you look back and then you think
Oh shit.
everything is at the right timing, and everything is like placed like
Like a
random,
puzzle. And then suddenly
yeah, it's random and then it just
matches.
like what? And so that's the magic of God. So that's why I say it's important to sometimes also leave it to God. When you feel like you're helpless, sometimes you have to look to God. Yeah, don't forget God lah. Basically.
Impressive, brother. Allow me to process that for a while.
Yeah.
Because
So what were we talking about before?
you
I
were
went into
talking
that?
about the gym. Like,
the
what,
gym, right?
what was it that
Yeah.
motivated you?
So back to the gym. For me now, it's just a lifestyle lah. Like I'm very happy to bring people into the gym. I'm happy to teach them. I don't force anybody. If they want to come, they can come with me.
I think it's very important, not forcing somebody to do something.
Yeah.
Because if you force somebody to do something, they're not gonna like it.
Exactly.
Not gonna like it.
I mean, I understand like certain coaches because like they have to be put in uncomfortable situations, things that they don't want to do. But at the same time, if they themselves don't have the willingness, right?
Yeah,
you force them,
it's not gonna work.
Nothing's gonna come out of it, right? Yeah. So every time like I go with my friends, I'll ask them, what is your goal? If your goal is actually to be serious, I'll be more serious.
Okay.
If you are just, I just want to be healthy, I just want to sweat, yeah, then
Sure.
okay, it'll be a completely different like session.
Understand what you want first,
Yeah.
right? Do you want to be serious,
Yeah.
or do you
Yeah.
just want to sweat?
Exactly.
Different approach.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If like that, it's more fun for them. It's more fun for you. You don't have to think like, oh, what the hell?
You're on the
I'm
same
so
page,
serious.
right?
Yeah, I'm so serious, and then you're not taking me seriously. Like, what the hell is going on, right? Yeah.
You have to make sure that you're on the same page with the people.
So a lot of the things that we are talking about, right? Actually, it relates into business as well, right? If you think about it, everything is like basically in
The
life.
principles, right?
Yeah, it won't run away one. So it's like like that's why like I said, just throw yourself into this field or whatever that you don't know, but you might learn something and it will influence something else. It's the same with life also, right? You
Yeah, that's actually very true.
Yeah.
It's actually very true.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to working with my dad, I don't quite really enjoy it because like the nature of the job is that you have to lick people's ass a lot. You have to sweet talk them and everything. In a sense, you have to like humbly like beg them to buy.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I really appreciate about that is that it develops the sense of I'm no longer afraid of being rejected and ignored. Like, because like every time people pass, you have to call them like boleh kacamata ya, like whatsoever. I think that being in the shop, I think this is one of the ideas that I'm wrestling right now. I think that one of the reasons why God put me in this family, in this workshop, is that so that I could understand what it's like to be in the lowest of the rungs, begging people to buy from you, learning how to be resilient when people talk shit about you, learning how to be okay when people suddenly said no to you, so that when you're up there, you still have that humility inside of you. Because one of the reasons why rich people, successful people fall is because of their pride too.
Yeah lah.
Right? They become prideful, they become too comfortable, they started to treat people like shit, people don't like them, and it becomes a downward
I
spiral.
just watched a Singaporean show yesterday. Same thing.
Same thing happened.
This guy was broke, became rich, became arrogant, everything fell.
Fell, right? So in a sense, like, humility is very important. Learn to be kind to the to the waiter serving you, because you understood what it's like
You might not know.
to be serving
You
them.
might not know that he will suddenly become your client.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Always being open-minded, always being humble. I think right now at this phase of my life, one of the things that God is teaching me right now is humility, being okay
Bro,
in that
trust
lower.
me, he will humble you to the point where you can't even take it, bro. I have so my friend, he's running a cafe business, bro, because he comes from a very rich family, to be
Okay.
fair. So everything he wants, he has. So when he went into the business, that's when he first struggled, right?
Okay.
So sometimes the parents ask him like, why do you want to struggle so much? Why don't you just come into family business, just earn a director's salary, and then you don't have to do much, and that's it, call it a day. Why do you want
To
why
experience
do you
the
want
pain.
this, right?
Uh,
So then he's like, but his passion is food.
okay.
He loves food. So he decided to continue on with the cafe lah. And he changed a lot lah, basically.
Really?
Yeah. So because he knows he's from a rich family. So of course there is some that arrogance that comes with it.
Okay.
Not to say it's a bad arrogance, but there's some level,
I know.
like you expect to be served like a different way, So after he went into the business, the F&B business, after he dealt with horrible customers, after God like literally humbled him, then he truly understood lah. Yeah. And then we were just talking about it. We were like, basically he just said like how God is a very interesting God, because he will truly find ways to mold you, into like the person that that's right for your path.
I see. That's
So
interesting.
very interesting.
Okay, that's a very cool idea. So our life is being held by God, and God is shaping you throughout the journey of your life, holding you so that you can become who you are in the path that God has set for you.
Because they always say God has a plan for you, right? So how do you get to that that plan?
By
basically
being
all these challenges,
by being shaped by God,
yeah,
by being molded by God. I see. And it could get to the point where you will want to break. Really.
And actually, like a lot of people, I mean it's not wrong. All of us want to be rich, but the problem is, when you become rich, it's not to say there's no problems. Your problems are just different problems.
True.
And we might not be geared to actually be able to tackle
I see.
the problems that the rich people have. So I think that's why, like, although all of us want it, not all of us are given it.
I see. Because you're not prepared to receive so much
Yeah.
money, right?
You don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to solve the problems that comes with having so much money.
I see.
So God is like, you're just
I cannot trust you with this. It's gonna corrupt you.
No, it's just not in your plan.
Capability yet.
Yeah.
It's not within your capacity yet. I see. And that's why it's important for God to mold us and to prepare us in
Then
our
only
early
you-
phase.
you'll be able to take responsibility for it.
Okay.
Like
That's
with great power comes great responsibility. Great amount of money.
great responsibility. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think Jesus ever said like, if you're faithful in the little things, you're gonna be faithful in the big things too.
Yeah.
If you're not faithful in the little things, how can I trust you
Yeah lah.
with the big things
Exactly.
too? Right?
Exactly.
If you want me to trust you with the big things, with money, with power, with everything, then you have to learn how to be faithful enough to hold this, right? To not destroy yourself.
I mean, like, let's say God gives everybody like tons of money, the world will be
Chaos.
right.
Chaos.
So somehow everything is
It's just,
Yeah.
right? The rich gets rich because of certain things that they did, right?
whether what they did is good. Or
Good on
bad.
that, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's a different case, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, here's a fun question, yeah. If you could only do 6 exercises for the rest of your life, what would it be?
In the gym.
In the gym, yeah.
6 exercises
Yeah,
for
6
everything.
movements, for everything, full
For
body.
everything. Okay, definitely all compounds.
Oh,
Yeah. Because for me it's more practical lah. If you limit me to 6 exercises, I
Mhm.
would want those exercises to hit
All of
multiple
them.
parts,
Mhm.
so everything is trained.
So no isolation,
No
morely
isolations,
compound.
Yeah, only compound. So definitely 6, right? So let's say 1 leg exercise, 1 chest, arm, shoulder, and back. Yeah, probably like that, lor. So pull-ups,
Pull-ups,
definitely, because
okay.
it trains majority of your back. Squats
Squats.
for your legs. Your entire leg can be done with squats.
Really?
Barbell or dumbbell chest press.
Chest press,
Yeah,
okay.
for your chest.
Chest.
For arms is a bit hard.
Because you have to isolate it,
Yeah,
right?
because there's bicep and tricep.
But with the pull-ups, you get the biceps already.
Yeah, true. And then after that, yeah, so maybe a shoulder exercise. Do I need a shoulder exercise? Then what did I say again? Oh shit! I need to put this in the list, man. Or else I'm gonna lose. That's the problem with me, Like I need to make it into a list, or else I won't be able to
Remember it?
Yeah. Okay, so
Squats.
6 exercises, right?
Yeah.
You said
Squats,
squat
pull-ups,
and then pull up,
chest press.
chest press.
Only 3 right now.
So for squat, the whole leg is already done.
Mm-hmm.
For pull-ups, the whole back and a bit of bicep
bit
will
of
be
bicep.
there. Chest, definitely your chest, and then your triceps a little bit as well. Okay. So then shoulders, lor. Yeah, shoulders. Shoulders.
Laterals.
But shoulders and laterals are 2 different things, right? That would be 2 exercises already, right? Because one is you're doing a shoulder press, one is you're doing this. So that's 2, right?
that's
So that'll be 2,
exercise.
right?
That's 2
Okay.
exercise, exactly.
So I'll just do shoulders then, like a normal shoulder press.
A normal shoulder press.
Yeah.
Okay, shoulder press.
So that's 4, right?
Uh-huh.
So I do have some room,
Yeah.
actually.
2 more.
Shoulder press. Okay. And I have 2 more.
This is an interesting question. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought about it that way. Okay. So technically now that if that's the case, right? I might just add in 1 like leg exercise
Okay.
and 1 arm exercise, and that's it.
What will it be?
Maybe calves.
Calf
raises,
raises.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And 1 more arm.
And 1 arm preacher curl. lah.
Preacher curl.
Yeah, because that's the highest bicep activation
For
mark.
the bicep, yeah.
Activity.
Shenderson mentioned different movements.
Mm.
I think he also mentioned the squat. He said it's very important.
Yeah.
Squat.
I think his will be more powerlifting style, maybe like
Yeah.
deadlifts and
Yeah, he did mention deadlifts.
Yeah.
Squat, deadlifts, rows, pull-ups,
Mm.
and then probably some curls,
Mm.
and then like the shoulder press. I think I need to really listen, but mostly like powerlifting style, compounding movements.
yeah.
With the barbell and everything.
Yeah, his style. That's why like you need to see like what type of style you like as well. Like his style is more, from the way I see, it's more powerlifting. For me, it's more bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding.
Yeah, so
Different, yeah.
They both have a different end goal. Both of it is good, but just see which one you prefer more.
What's the end goal of a powerlifter?
Lift heavy.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Power lift.
Yeah.
I see. But bodybuilding is
Aesthetics.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like basically like there's more activation, it's more slower, more control. Everything is, I would say, safer. lah. So I prefer bodybuilding style. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You're a bodybuilder. He's a powerlifter.
Both is good.
It just
both
depends
has
on your
cons as well. So just depends
No, on your style.
It's a preference. Yeah.
You achieved this body within 2 years, right? Damn.
Yeah.
That is huge progress.
Yeah.
Was it discipline or motivation?
A bit of both, but I still believe that it's more to do with discipline. lah.
Discipline.
Because like I mentioned to you, I think motivation doesn't last.
Doesn't last.
Motivation won't be there forever as well. So sometimes you just have to do it without motivation. Just autopilot it. Like I said.
Autopilot it,
Just take out
yeah.
the clothes, make your pre-workout, just drive, go to the gym. And just get into it. You know,
I see.
the more you think about it, the more
The
difficult.
difficult.
it becomes. Yeah.
Just fucking do it,
Just
right?
do it.
So that's discipline.
Yeah. But of course, the discipline comes when, when you don't want to do it, but you still do it. So that's when the discipline actually kicks in, and then you incorporate it. Like I said, when I go traveling, something has to give, right? You can't have everything. It's either you sleep longer, which would be nicer.
Opportunity cost,
No,
right?
nobody would say no to sleeping more.
Yeah, true.
So it's either okay, I work out in the morning, but means I have to wake up early, or I work out at night, which means the risk is I'm already super tired from the day, and the gym might be closed because not all the gyms are 24 hours,
open
right?
up to late hours.
So I think the more I see, I think morning gym is
Morning
better.
should be the
so
best, yeah.
I have to sacrifice the sleep lah, or else or else it'll be terrible, man. Like I'll be gaining weight like crazy, man.
Really, if you don't go to the gym?
And I also won't feel. you know,
Good.
there's that urge, you know.
Yeah, I
ah,
understand
shit,
now. I understand.
I didn't do it, you know.
I don't know, yeah. Tapi I feel like this. When you first started out, it's very difficult to start. When you started it for so long, it's difficult to stop because it's just a part of your habit.
It's also like a momentum, like.
Yeah, momentum
Yeah.
again. It gets easier. I think someone ever said this before. Like, no matter what you do, whether it's podcasting, business, or whatsoever, it's always hardest in the beginning.
Yeah.
But when you get momentum, when you get the traction, it gets so much easier because you suddenly understood. Oh, this is how you set up the mic. This is how you set up
already
the
have a
light.
system,
Exactly.
Yeah, so it
Right.
works.
Because there's a system in because like when you first started out, you don't really know what the fuck you're doing, right? Where to connect the mic, where to put on the lighting.
Correct.
But when you started to go along, it's only
You realize,
downhill.
okay, like maybe like
Yeah.
you know, lighting has to be like certain
Exactly.
places and whatever.
Certain
Yeah, you learn.
When you got the system already in place, it's everything so much smoother. I think that's one of the, how should I say, greatest motivation for people who wanted to start to the gym is that understand that it's the hardest now, but it's gonna get easier towards the end. I don't think that you no longer need discipline anymore in order to go to the gym in certain times, right? Because you just
I mean, yeah, of course, it still matters. Like because there will be days where you're like,
fuck it.
man, it would be so nice to just not go today, but then like you just go regardless.
in the end.
Yeah.
But most of the days there's this itch for you to just go.
But like not every gym session will be as hard as each other, you know. Like there will be days where you feel actually really motivated to go in and whatever, but there are days where you really can't. So
I see.
as long as you're there, just hit it out.
Yeah.
You know, regardless whether it's a bad or good session, but you're still doing it.
Doing it.
Yeah. So that's
I
the
see.
most important thing. It's the same thing as doing a business. There will be days that are good, there will be days that
They're
are
bad.
But just go,
Go.
just enjoy it, you know, hate it, but just go.
I see.
Yeah.
And that's why discipline matters, because there are just certain days where you just don't feel like it.
Oh, there will be a lot.
There will be a lot of days. Like, whether in the business or in the gym, but you just have to show up, do your shit,
Yeah.
and then go.
Literally, that's the word. Show up.
Show up, do your shit,
Yeah.
and then you'll get better along the way. Yeah. There will be good days ahead.
Truth be told, man, especially during holidays, I think I told you, right, when we went to Disneyland in Japan with my friends, and we still wanted to gym. I was like, "Bro, are you crazy? We walked probably like 35,000 steps that day, you know, and we are doing legs on that day. Bro. I was like, are you crazy? It's like, it's okay, man.
It's okay.
Just do a light one, you know, like it doesn't matter, just get it in, you know.
I see.
Then looking back, it's like, you know, that small workout might have actually like helped, you know, for your
Momentum.
long-term.
Again.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. This is actually the third chapter,
Okay.
third topic.
It's actually quite fun, actually.
Yeah.
Like I don't really feel like
The microphone is here, yeah.
It's just like
Normal
it's actually
conversation.
quite cool actually. Now that I think about it.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
brother. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, why I wanted to start this podcast in the first place is because I talk with people a lot, right? And I actually love listening and asking them questions, learning from them. I feel like, damn, wouldn't it be nice to have this conversation, like post it online in a podcast? I can re-listen it again.
Bro, and the best part is you can take what is good for you and you know the things that you don't feel like is relatable for you.
You
can
just cut it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, for me, whenever like let's say we're at a dinner table and the adults are there, like my dad, my best friend's parents, they're there. You can ask my friends. I'm actually not very, very silent because I'd rather just listen to them.
Oh, really?
I don't really talk that much.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll rather listen because I can make my own judgment. You know, if I don't agree, I can make my own call, you know. And then if I think that I have a better idea, you know, I can think about it, I can process it first before I present it to them. Something like that, you know.
I see.
Yeah. So I don't know, I just think it's fun lah. It's quite fun actually.
Listening to people talk,
Yeah,
making your own judgments in your head.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, you're very different than Yoriko,
Very
Very
Yeah.
different.
Very.
Like, you're very reserved.
Yeah.
You know, you don't talk too much. And then Yoriko's like,
I mean, that's why it works, right? That's why it works, right? Like
complete opposites, man.
Yeah, she can do the yapping and I can
I just
do the
listen.
listening.
You just listen to her.
Yeah.
Speaking of Yoriko, I want to talk a bit about love, I hope you don't mind.
Yeah.
Is Yoriko your first girlfriend?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Like how many actors do you have, if you don't mind?
Honestly, I have a lot of unofficial ones, but proper ones maybe like second or third.
Second or third, probably. What happened to the past relationships, if you don't mind sharing?
Just a lot of like immaturity, and then wrong timing. Long distance was
okay,
also
long distance too.
one of the deciding factors, whether the relationship will go through or not. And I mean, we are all growing, right? When you're young, you're bound to make a lot of mistakes.
You're
Even
stupid.
now-
You're stupid
even
when
now.
you're young.
Yeah, even now you're
Exactly
making
now.
mistakes. So yeah lah, just some things don't go, into plan, and I think it's fine.
I see.
Yeah.
So most of the relationships in the past failed simply because of immaturity. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
there's still lots of mistakes that are being made and so on. But as we grow older, we learn from them. That's cool. Like, is a long distance relationship difficult with Yoriko?
With her, it's not that difficult.
Really?
Actually. Yeah. With her, everything is quite smooth. There are parts where she has to work on for herself, and I can see her making effort. There are parts where I have to obviously work on,
That's nice.
and I think for her, she prefers a more fairy tale relationship. you know?
Okay. What
Like,
do you mean
the
by
guy
it?
is very romantic. Big gestures.
Okay.
A lot of like kind words and like a lot of like surprises or like flowers or whatever. But I'm not that kind of guy, to be honest. I'm more
Really?
because like the way I think, I look at it very logically lah. Like all these things are like, how long is this sustainable?
Okay.
Like to be fair, like you could do it once every month.
Okay, fair
you know?
point.
Okay, and that's not that bad. But for me, I'm more stable. My efforts are always at this level. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Yeah, you
I
get it,
understand.
right? Like,
I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's more, everything is just stable. But the problem when it's so stable, it becomes very boring and very repetitive.
I understand now.
Yeah. So for her, it's very mundane lah.
She wanted it to be like this, right?
The excitement.
Assignment and everything, and then she slowed down.
But for me, I'm not like that.
You're like sustainable. You're looking long term, and you're a bit stable like this, but it gets pretty mundane and boring at times. You're a very routine person, yeah.
Yeah.
From your kid, your background. When I listen to it, like, wait a second, your kid, you're also routine. Uni also routine, and then right now we're relationship also very
So
stable.
everything, I don't know. I just like that stability. That's why I don't like. I have this fear of the unknown. Let's say I'm going into something new. That's when I start to feel very anxious. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
So for me, that's very scary.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
I'm out of my routine. I'm doing something that's different.
That's interesting.
So that's why I don't really adventure too much. But at the same time, if I don't do that, if I don't adventure out,
You're gonna be a boring life.
I'll forever not be able to expand.
True.
So that's why there are times when obviously you have to be out of your bubble, and when you're out of the bubble, you can come back into your own bubble lah. After that, then you can take time to recharge and then whatever,
Learn when to go out. Learn when to charge. Don't just keep on going out. Going to crazy stuff.
If you keep going out and it's actually like efficient, and you're actually meeting people, and you're actually expanding your network, and everybody,
I
then
see.
you will fly. But of course,
Okay.
then you won't have time for yourself.
I
So
see.
You're putting your own needs behind. Right,
I see.
At that point.
I see.
But obviously, to each their own, right? that could be their style. For me, it's like when I need to be, I will come out. Then okay, I will know when to come back in as well.
Reserved. Right. People have different styles and different approach to life. Yeah. What was it about Yoriko that made you feel like it's a good idea to take the shot?
Shit, this one wow, people are gonna think I'm damn narrow-minded, man.
Why?
Basically, like I'm very practical about it, lah. Because when I got together with her, my best friend saw our conversation and he asked, "Why don't you go out with this girl?"
Yeah.
Then I was looking back, like,
Yeah.
why not, right? Like she has like all the things that I wanted, like we are not that far apart, I think, social class wise, and then I think we complement each other in terms of thinking. Of course, there are things where we are opposites, but there are things where we can come to a compromise, which is good. And then her business mind, that's important as well. That she's ambitious, and I have that as well. So it would be good if my partner has that as well.
Business mind too.
So that we both can contribute to each other's business.
And you
whatever.
guys can connect,
Yeah lah.
like if you're very business minded and your wife isn't like business minded, you want to talk to her like she doesn't
Yeah, she
really
won't be able to-
understand,
yeah.
what on earth is going on. So you're not narrow minded. You're simple. You like things like
Yeah, but then it's not. I mean, typically now I would say a lot of relationships are quite No, they're like
Complex?
there's like no. I mean, yeah, definitely complex, but it's like there's a chase, and then you play the game.
I don't like that, bro.
But trust me, that's the reality of it. Like I have so many friends, bro. Actually, before her, I didn't really want to date already.
Okay.
Like I told myself, like, okay, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, I'm also okay.
Hmm.
So before her, my last relationship was maybe like 5-6 years ago.
5-6 years
Proper
ago.
relationship. Of course, I had people who come in and out, but that was it. That we it's not like something serious. It's just like you were just testing waters out, and then something happens, and you're like, okay lah, maybe we shouldn't do it. So for her,
I see.
it just was very natural.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's just because like so much of Yoriko is a reflection of who you
Maybe.
are, maybe.
Maybe.
The business minded. But I was thinking about no, she yaps a lot. You don't yap a lot. That doesn't.
Yeah. So there are things where we contrast. There
Yeah.
are things that complements, and
Yeah.
I think it's good balance lah.
Okay.
So
Having like same grounds, but at the same time having opposites can actually like
Because
complement
actually-
one another.
actually, it's good because then it makes you think from the other side. Like, why would she think
okay.
that? And then if you can come into an understanding, then I think it is good because it makes you think about the other side of things. Because I'm very practical. She's emotional, so I have to think like, oh, why
Why are you emotional?
why is the emotional part like making this thing difficult?
Okay.
So whereas for her, it's like, oh, once she's emotional, then she can be back to logical. Like, oh, okay. So logically, does this actually, am I being upset? Like, is me being upset like more like, is it actually valid? Yeah.
Or is it just my mood?
Yeah. Is it just like, oh, for the sake of being, upset, I become upset? Yeah.
You're logical, she's emotional. You're stable, she's fairy
I
tale.
think she prefers that lah. Yeah.
You're very practical, but she's very
Like maybe like fantasy.
fantasy type.
Yeah. Like she lives in like this fantasy land, and then mine is more like logical, like more a realist lah.
Very
Realist and
realistic.
what's the other word for it? Like realist and the dreamer.
Dreamer?
Something like that.
Something
lah.
like that,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's go. What do you think is a common cause for relationships to fail?
Common cause are communication, difference of perspectives, and
Unwillingness to compromise?
yeah, that and stubbornness and ego.
Ego.
Yeah,
Ego
very
too, yeah.
important. Like let's say you make a mistake and
You don't want to own it. You don't want to be accountable for it.
that's very important as well. And then commitment. Lor.
Commitment.
Yeah. Like
Fine.
if you can't commit to it, because to be fair, I think love is a very temporary feeling.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Like when you cook something for your girlfriend or whatever, that's the moment you feel love, that spark. But majority of it is very stable.
Stable.
So
Oh,
that
okay.
is a commitment. That's a choice that you are committed to the relationship.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it.
So love isn't all about like feeling warm and fuzzy and like
That
being in
that
love.
is-
That's
that won't last.
infatuation.
Yeah,
right?
that is like something that we get a dopamine hit off,
Mhm.
and if you get obsessed with it, and if if your partner doesn't give it to you, then you feel, oh, my partner doesn't love me.
Okay.
But actually, love is like like just a commitment, like a contract between two people. Essentially,
see love?
I mean, I mean to put it into simple terms, it might be like a contract. Every day you wake up like, okay, I'm gonna be committed to this person.
Oh,
you know?
okay, that's
it's like a contract to yourself, to the other person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So love isn't necessarily about all feelings, but it's feelings plus commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I always tell myself, like, even like a lot of people, they are like, I want to be happy, right? But if every day you're happy, doesn't your level of happiness, like, okay, let's say your happy is here, every day you're happy, you will feel so bored of it that your happiness will jump up and you need to reach there.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the up and down, you won't be able to.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Right?
That's an interesting idea.
So that's why I think like it's unrealistic for somebody to say that I want to be happy every day. Because if you are happy every day, you won't be able to appreciate the happy times.
Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you. Like when you feel sick and then you recover, then you started to fucking appreciate life, right?
Yeah.
You started to
Exactly.
when you have snot all over your nose and
For a
then
few
you
days you're like, shit, man, what the hell? Yeah, so it's like those are the times where it goes down. Then when you go back up and you recover, you're like, oh,
you appreciate the normal things of life. I can breathe easier now.
Exactly.
I can run now.
yeah, precisely.
Damn. I think COVID works the same, yeah. COVID, everything's locked down, and then when COVID opened, you started to appreciate. Oh, finally, I can.
Which
Go
is
out.
basically why a lot of people are having the YOLO life. Like, everybody's like, oh, we don't know when the next pandemic is gonna hit,
let's
right?
just
So might as
fucking
well,
do it.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard the saying, chase butterflies and they'll fly away, build a garden and they'll come?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
do you
I think that's true.
that's true?
Yeah,
Mm.
because chasing butterflies means you're just chasing that feeling, right? Isn't it?
When I think about it, it's like you're chasing the girl. Right?
Yeah lah, basically,
Mm.
you're chasing someone. You know, you're trying to get that dopamine hit.
True.
But if you yourself have nothing to
To offer, like you don't put nothing on the table. Like what the fuck? Why should she stay with you? Right.
I think for a lot of guys, especially because for guys, we tend to go chase up as well. Means like you chase somebody who might be just a bit out of your league or something. And most of the time when guys get rejected, it's because truth be told, you can be giving them everything. What I mean by everything is that chasing moment, you put in so much effort, you put in everything, but actually it's a show.
No. Okay.
Yeah. You are just giving them the best parts of you. You know? And then the girl would think like,
This is the real him.
yeah,
She fell, and then voila, it's not. Right. It's just a show.
exactly.
Okay.
So if you, I think if you keep chasing and chasing and chasing, and you keep putting in all this, right, the girl might start to think like, if this is how he is, how long can he keep this up?
yeah. And that's why stability is important.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why, like, if truly what he is giving is in him already, then the effort, okay, let's say he really can, you know, fancy dinners and nice gifts and everything. That's actually in him already. Means the garden is already there, like you said. Then of course it will be there.
I see.
But most of the time,
It's just a show.
yeah, that's why I told you, don't believe everything you hear and believe half the things that you see because the other half is just a show.
It's a show. It's an illusion, right? For women, yeah, they have to understand when a guy is like giving like 100%. Is it really in him already? Is the garden already available, or is it just a show for you to just fall for the trap? And then when you're in the relationship, he started to pull
It
back.
could be like love bombing, and once you love bomb, the girl has such high expectations. The guy pulls away. The girl will be like, hey, why suddenly all of these are gone? So maybe she decides to put in more effort. The guy puts in a bit more effort, and he pulls away.
Pull again.
The girl will. It's like a psychological
What
warfare.
the fuck?
The girl will be obsessed with the guy now because she is trying to get that dopamine hit, you know, like
Yeah.
that good feeling and whatever. But now she can't because the guy.
I need to give more so that I could have this amount, and then I need to give even more again in order to have lesser amount. It's diminishing results, right?
And that's actually like a psychological way to get somebody to be obsessed with you.
Yeah, that's basically the art of seduction.
Yeah.
You get in, pull out,
Yeah.
get in, pull out
Exactly.
again. I see. Because if you stay there for too long, you're gonna get bored with it.
But of course, this goes both ways. Let's say you're very stable as well, it becomes very boring. You know, they might be wanting for something different. They might think the grass is greener on the other side. They find somebody new, they pull away, they go to somewhere else. And then after that, you know, you might be left behind. She goes there, she realizes that the guy ain't shit. She tries to come back, you're already done. So, you know, that's why it's very complex actually.
It's very complex.
Yeah.
This is a game.
Yeah, the game.
It's a game.
That's it. It's the game. If you don't play it, chances are it's very hard for you to get like a traditional,
Girlfriend.
normal relationship. I would say, and majority of it, I don't think you can get now.
I see. You have to understand how to play the game.
Because
yeah.
my best friend, he is in a relationship for 7-8 years now.
7-8 years?
They live together actually,
That's good.
and I told them that what their relationship is very different from what outside like normal people's relationship is.
Why?
Because theirs is very traditional.
Oh, okay.
You know, the woman has her role, the guy has his role, and then they're committed to each other. Whatever that doesn't work, they fight with each other and they make it work. Whereas now, because it's so easy to meet somebody new, why do I need to work so?
shit out with you. I just break it off.
Yeah.
Find someone new.
Yeah.
I see.
Because it's because of that I stopped looking for somebody actually.
I
Because
see.
I think that there's no such thing as a perfect boyfriend or girlfriend.
Fair point.
If you don't mold them into what your definition of perfect is, then the person won't be that, you know, perfect, that definition of perfect.
It seems to me that in a relationship, in order for it to work, you have to be willing to put in the work to the other person, right?
Which a lot of people now, they just want the feeling, they want the benefits of a relationship, but then once times get tough,
They just cut off.
yeah, what's the point of working it out? And that's why you have so many people who are like settling, you know, when they are like older, and then they realize like, oh shit, like, you know, I could have had this, but then because I was, you know, like thinking like, you know, like, oh, why should I like you know, fix things with you, blah 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 blah, and then they're left with whatever that's left. You know, because okay, let's say when you're younger, you're 23, you're 20 or whatever, there's more pool of people.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Because the good ones are still there. When you go up to your 30s and 35,
The good ones are taken.
yeah.
The good ones are taken
Yeah.
away already.
So why are those people still single? You have to think, right? There has to be something. Okay, you might get that rare chance that one of them has been like really focusing on his career, didn't focus on relationship at that time. He's ready. So that's very
Rare. Very rare.
majority will be
Not worth the risk. Not worth the risk. It's better for you to just get into the pool when you're young, find a good woman, build the relationship with her. Right.
That's why I think like especially for guys. I mean, we don't have makeup. I mean, you can use makeup, but I mean, normally guys won't use
Sure.
makeup. If you don't like keep like good hair, your
Face,
facial
right.
hair, whatever,
The way
you
you're
know,
built,
you exercise.
right,
Yeah.
exercise.
If you the way you dress, yeah, you can't even do that. Isn't that a very huge reflection of
Who you are, right? You're not someone who can
You
take
don't
care of
care.
yourself. Yeah, it's like I have this idea that I don't believe that there is a guy that is ugly.
Yes.
No, I believe that every guy could be attractive. So how do you get what if you try to fix your hair?
Yeah.
What if you fix your face?
Yes.
Right? What if you clear your face from acne? What if you work out? You show yourself to be a disciplined man that could take care of himself. What if you dress well? What if you learn how to buy like a good perfume, right? What if you learn how to be sociable? What if you learn how to be a very proficient in what you do as your career wise? What if you show yourself that you're actually able to take care of yourself, and then women will actually feel like, shit, man, this guy can
Yeah.
take care of himself. I
Yeah.
feel like it's safe for me to be taken care of him.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, right? You're not
I have-
ugly.
I have a friend, sadly. I mean, so basically he's my best friend and his extended families. That's my current like closest friends. One of them is older. He's maybe 28. He has probably like 3 shirts.
She what?
3 shirts.
3 shirts, okay.
And like maybe 2 or 3 pants and the same shoes. Not even sports shoes. He doesn't even have sports shoes.
Okay.
He's fat. He's like trying to look for a girlfriend.
That's not. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, to be honest.
How?
Yeah, because that's not
Everybody-
possible.
Everybody, because I have the same interest with him, with audio and whatever. So for us to talk, it's not too difficult. So they're asking me like, oh, can you actually help him, give him advice so that he can go after a girl? How?
Not possible. Not yet there. Work on
There's
yourself
too
first.
many things to work
Yeah,
on.
you
I
need-
don't know where to begin.
You need to work on yourself first, right?
His personality is okay, it's fine, but he doesn't know social cues. He's a weeb. So I'm not saying weebs are bad, but
I understand.
yeah,
I understand.
So those are not really. I mean, if you're looking for a weeb girlfriend,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
It might
that's
work.
different.
It might work.
But if you're looking for a
Generally
typical-
speaking, for
I think it's very, very difficult. So for him, I don't know how to I
Start.
don't know where to. Yeah,
yeah.
because for me, I mean, now that I have Yoriko, I don't have that. I don't feel so much pressure to really like dress up or whatever. Like when I go out or whatever. But before that, it's like you put in a bit more effort because at least it shows that
You
know,
care for yourself,
Yeah.
Because if you don't care about yourself, how are you going to take care of the woman, right? I think that when it comes to men, it's actually pretty simple,
Very
Take care-
basic things.
Very basic
Yeah.
things. Take care of yourself, and when you take care of yourself, then women will be generally attracted to you. I think that there's a guy that said that there are basically 3 things that women are attracted to in a man: intelligence, right? Because how intelligent you are is actually like a factor to consider whether or not you can take care of the kids, right? Second one is actually, what was it again? Intelligence, kindness, right? Being generous. If you're intelligent but you're not kind, that's pretty much useless. And then the last one is that your ability to signal your capacity to provide future resources. Because like honestly speaking, like if you're not able to find money, if you're not able to earn money,
Yep.
the relationship will not work.
Yep.
Love is necessary,
Yep.
but love will not bring food to the table.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So learn how to be good at what you're doing,
Mm.
right? Learn how to be intelligent, and lastly, learn how to be kind.
Yeah.
3 things:
I mean, like for a woman, they are betting their entire,
life and body.
being
Yeah,
to whether you can actually provide.
exactly.
Yeah. So for them, of course, they will have to choose, carefully.
It's an opportunity cost, you know. if you choose this person, you're gonna stick with them
Yeah.
for the rest of your life, right? It's gonna be very difficult, and therefore you want to choose the best of the best, and that's why for men, I think that it's like a competition,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
Like-
why it's in our DNA. For a guy, it's like to breed as many women as
Exactly.
possible. For a lady, it's the other way around, right? Isn't it? Like to have
To-
one.
to be attached to one single
Yeah.
person, right? Because by being attached to one single person, knowing him personally, it means like a higher survival rate because you know that he's not gonna kill you, right? He's not going to harm you if you know him personally. It's being attached.
So for us, we are designed differently.
True.
Yeah. For a guy, if they have a lot of girls, you would be like, oh, what a player, you know. It's like, oh, so cool, man, so many girls, right? What on the other hand,
If the girls are being attracted to other guys, it actually becomes like a repulsive thing, right?
you'd be like, oh, what
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of girl is this? Right? So is this how we
It's how we are designed, I think. If a guy is listening right now and he kind of likes a girl, what's your bro advice for him?
what's the situation here? Like,
Let's say that he worked on himself already. He already
so
finished with
we
himself.
are saying the best version of himself.
Not necessarily the best version, but a good version.
Okay.
An okay version, I would say. Let's say that he goes to the gym, he works out,
Yeah.
he has interesting hobbies like boxing and whatnot, but he doesn't really know how to talk to a girl here. What would your advice be for this kind of guy? Because I believe that again, we agreed on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Before you pursue a girl, you need to fucking work on yourself first.
Yeah.
Once you're done, then we go to play this game. What's your bro advice?
I mean, if he's already doing all these things, expose yourself to the game, lah.
Expose yourself
Play
to
the game.
Play the game. The only way to get better playing the game is by
Enjoy it.
playing the game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The only way to get better is by being in the game.
Yeah. I mean, unless he's really lucky, lah. Like me and Yoriko, I would say that is by luck.
By luck,
Yeah.
really.
So unless he's really counting on that, which personally I don't recommend,
For sure.
play the game.
Exposed.
The more you're exposed, the more you know what ladies want and what they don't want.
I see.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Right? Figuring shit out.
So if you're talking to multiple women and you make it clear that you're not exclusive to them, then your options are still open. You can technically, this sounds bad, but practice with multiple women, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it will increase your rate of learning of how women's mind work. Right? Understanding female psychology is important.
That is. Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about that.
That
But
is-
We're gonna talk until evening probably.
Bro, I don't know, man. Women are like hard to read, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I feel lah. Like with the whole. Okay, personally for me, I really don't understand the emotional side of things.
Oh, for
So for
me.
me, it's very hard to see because like if you have a problem, if you just compartmentalize and remove your emotions from this situation, I think you can save so much more time.
But they're not gonna be able to understand what
Yeah,
your partner is
exactly.
going through.
Exactly.
Right.
Like there won't be basically a two-way lah. You know,
Mm.
if you just logically think about it, you're completely
Disconnected to her emotions.
yeah,
Right.
and that's not what most women would want
Oh.
lah. But I've heard of logical women as well,
Really?
and emotional men. So that's just how I feel because I'm logical.
I see.
Because I feel it's incredibly inefficient when a problem can be solved with a logical answer. Like feeling, oh, I'm so depressed, you know, like I can't do this.
And then you're like,
When the answer is just there. I give you a very the now is like when people get into relationships or whatever. Let's say the guy, the girl, the ex comes back and texts her. Then the girl is like, oh babe, my ex texted me and he's disturbing my peace. What's your solution? Just block the fella, right?
block it.
Yeah, just block him, right? That's the solution. But they'll be like, no, but I feel so bad. Like, so what's the point? What do you want? Yeah, what's the point of that, right? Like, isn't that I absolutely hate it when my peace is disturbed for me. So if you're disturbing my peace, you're
I
out.
cut you off, right?
I'm
Exactly.
done. That's done.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'm back to my peaceful self. I can just present. For them, it's psychological. They're like,
I feel bad.
yeah, but like he's so nice to me, and like blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, why is he being nice to you? He wants something out of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. I'm like, no lah, he's actually very nice. You know, I believe he's changed. I'm like, the heck?
I understand.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just for me. But obviously, on the other end, somebody who's emotional might tell me something else, and then I'll be like, okay, fair. You know. But as of yet, I have not seen a a compelling argument regarding that, because it's just too ridiculous for me. Yeah.
Understand? It's like they're speaking a different language. Yeah, you just don't understand them.
Different, man.
Completely
Like,
different.
Yeah.
Brother, we're actually nearing the end.
Okay.
Nearing
Cool.
the end. 3 last questions. Yeah.
Yep.
What's a goal that you really want to achieve but haven't reached yet?
Oh, of course, I want to be able to live the life that I have in my head lah. Obviously,
What kind of life is this?
oh man, people are gonna think I'm stupid as well. But I mean, I told Yoriko like, oh, I want to have 14 cars, 7 for you, 7 for me. All right, so one for every day of the week is enough.
Okay.
One for every day. It doesn't have to be supercars. All of it doesn't have to be supercars. But you have 7 cars. Okay. You need a people carrier,
Okay.
you know, like a Alphard or whatever, because Jakarta. You'll need maybe 2 sports cars,
Mhm.
2 4-door sedans, you know, for your family car, 2 SUVs, you know.
That's it.
So everything has its own purpose,
Mhm.
but like 7 cars,
Okay.
and that's for me, and another 7 for her.
For you.
That's crazy, right? And then if you can actually afford that 14 cars, imagine how expensive your house would be,
Yeah, I know.
right? Maintenance costs and whatever, the house, and then to decorate the house.
Mm.
Because I have some experience with ID, like interior design, because I hired a place to design my apartment in KL. Bro, it can get expensive.
It can get really
Like
expensive.
Really, really expensive.
What's the numbers here so that I can
Like-
have a picture in mind?
To be honest, like I think on average a person would maybe spend like around
You can count in ringgit.
okay, let's say in ringgit lah, for 1,000 square feet apartment, maybe they'll spend 30,000, 50,000 ringgit.
Okay,
to
50,000 ringgit.
to decorate the entire place.
Uh.
My project was 400,000.
What the fuck, bro?
Ringgit.
400,000.
400,000 ringgit. This excludes loose furniture. So we are talking purely on carpentry, your you know, your wiring, your tiles, your paint. It really can be limitless.
Wow.
I asked the company like, so what is this a good budget? He said yes, but we can go even higher. You want a 1 million ringgit couch? We can get for you. You want a 1 million ringgit table? We can get for you. So it's really up to your capability.
Wow.
So like you say, let's say you like pool. You know, I can get maybe one good table for 30,000, or I can find you a Louis Vuitton one for 300,000.
It just
So it's just levels also, again.
there's no limits to the game.
Yeah.
No limits.
And because I like all these finer things, right? I don't have it here. Basically, like even cutleries, I went into the world of cutleries.
Cutleries like spoon and fork.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought a brand. It's called Cristofol. You can Google it. It's expensive, but it's quality.
Quality is good.
Yeah.
It looks.
so.
Good.
If even your cutleries are expensive,
What about the other
everything
things?
else?
Yeah. If the tiniest
Yeah.
detail about your
Exactly.
home life is expensive,
Yeah.
what about the major things?
It also made me realize like we might miss out on so many things that are like high quality around us. Like when we were younger, because we didn't know about it. We might think a brand is not good, but actually it's good. So it kind of made me think like, shit, what have I missed? You know, because we didn't know.
I see.
So we might be surrounded with all these things, but we didn't know. So we didn't think it was so grand, but actually it was.
Shit, man. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my realization now. Okay, so for example, that Cristofol set, right? Average price of that is around 10,000 ringgit for a set of cutleries. And we are talking about that's their cheapest range. They go stainless steel, silver, and sterling silver. So the good thing about those levels is that, of course, it's silver, so they retain their value.
Okay.
Because they're actual silver.
Silver.
They're pieces of silver. But bro, the prices are like astronomical.
Crazy.
The jump from stainless steel to silver is maybe double.
Double.
And then it's another double from silver to sterling silver.
Simply for cutleries.
Yeah.
Simply for
Yeah.
cutleries.
So there's levels to it.
So this is the kind of wealth that you want to achieve.
That in my head I
in
want to
my-
achieve. In my head,
Yeah.
I would be happy.
Wow.
Yeah. Whether it's achievable, that's another thing, you know.
Let's see. Yeah.
It's like I want a jet. Okay. A jet is maybe 300 million ringgit for one jet. And you'll have that for maybe 20 years. And then you have to upgrade or something. And then the cars. Let's say the cars on average are spending 1 million ringgit on average. That's already 14 million. What about your house? Well, if your cars and your house is already like that, your lifestyle
It
will
would
be
be
much
much
higher.
higher again. What you eat on a daily basis,
Exactly.
right? Where you go to on
Yeah.
a daily basis for entertainment and
Yeah.
everything.
The problem is, I really enjoy all these things. I went with Yoriko to how many? We completed basically the top 50 best restaurants in in Singapore.
In Singapore.
Yeah. And that itself is really how much. We went to Singapore maybe 3 times. Each time I'm spending at least 10,000 ringgit per person
Per person.
on meals.
Simply for food.
Yeah.
10,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
1 ringgit is 3,000 rupiah.
1 ringgit, yeah, 3,000.
3,000 rupiah, right?
3,300 something. So basically, on average, my meals are over there is about 16 to 20 meal each meal.
What the fuck, bro? Okay.
So,
Alright.
so for me to reach the level where I feel is comfortable, I feel it's very, very, it's scarily unobtainable. Yeah,
It's very far ahead.
yeah. So that's why it's like, I feel it's very scary for me.
Mm.
My
You're
dad-
afraid that you're not able to achieve it?
and that's my worst fear.
I see.
Yeah,
You know that one of our biggest fear could actually be our biggest motivator too.
exactly.
Right.
It could be good or bad,
It could be good, bad.
but okay, let me just show you. This is my expenses last month in ringgit.
100. Fucking six
So-
digit.
So, if I really wanted, I have this principle where I want to live by 70% of my income will be for investments, 20% for my use, and then 10% for emergency.
Emergency.
So if 20% is 100,000, I have to be earning at least 500,000 every month to be able to sustain myself. And this is excluding car, house. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The numbers are, as you said, astronomical.
yeah.
That's huge.
Let's say we're dreaming about, okay, let's go crazy.
Okay, for sure. Let's remove all the barriers.
Yeah, let's remove all the barriers. I can buy like a Bugatti and a Koenigsegg. Let's say in Jakarta lah. In Malaysia, it's probably like 40-50 million per unit.
Per unit.
You have two there, there's 100 million there already. 100 million ringgit is how much in rupiah? It's probably like 100 billion?
Yeah,
Or
billion.
could be trillions
Billion.
already.
Trillions.
Yeah, I think it's trillions.
100 million times 3,000.
Yeah.
3
it's-
trillions.
Yeah.
3 trillion. Yeah.
So
3 trillion. Okay. Okay. Alright. That's a shit ton of money.
for 2 cars.
For 2 cars. That's a
And-
shit ton of money.
And I'm seeing people in America who has like 5 or like 7 of these cars. Like how are
How
they?
the fuck did they...
Because
cut-
these people, right, normally they don't even take a loan. The banks won't loan you money for these kind of cars. You have to pay cash. How?
Where did the money come
how
from?
do they have these amounts of excess cash to pay for all these things? That's why I'm like, I'm mind blown, you know, like how are they able to afford it?
There's just levels, yeah. People who are just on
Even,
the...
okay, you say a jet. A jet, they do a maximum loan of 20 years. So the loan tenure and the age of the jet cannot exceed 20 years. So let's say you're buying a 5-year-old jet. You can take a loan for 15 years. Because 15 plus 5, 20.
It's 20.
Yeah. So if you do that, the price of the jet would be so high because it's only 5 years old. But you buy a old jet, let's say 15 years, the price might be lower, but your loan is only 5 years, which means your monthly will be crazy.
Crazy. Your monthly payment will be crazy.
Yeah.
Because you pay only for 5 years, right?
From what I know, all these people who are affording all these hypercars, like private jets and whatever, and yachts, super yachts, they're all paying
By cash. Where is it coming from?
like, bro, how much are they earning to have that
Yeah.
amount of extra
Extra
money?
cash. That's extra cash.
That
That's
they can
that's
just-
cold cash.
They just can just dump it onto a car or into a jet or something, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, my jet is like 30 million. To renovate the jet was maybe 5 million.
Maintenance, oil, and
Oh,
everything.
I mean, if you're talking about, you know, all those fixed costs and your variable costs, it might be 1-2 million extra. Bro, like how are they? And this is all in USD, you know. Means if you convert into ringgit, let's say you buy the top of the line, you will be easily spending 400-500 million ringgit on a jet.
Yeah. And that's cold money. That's cold cash.
For me, it is. I don't know how they afford it. Can you imagine at that time, at that point of life when you're thinking about buying a jet, all these things become so meager.
This
Oh, you want a
becomes
MacBook?
small.
You want the MacBook?
Uh,
Whatever.
just buy.
Just take the highest spec. I don't care. Just, you know, give me 10. Right?
These kinds of people look at life and they think like
it's a game, bro.
It's a game. It's
Yeah,
just a,
it's like GTA.
it's just a stake.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Oh, stick whatever lah. Just
uh,
throw gold on it or whatever. You know, make it
10,000
more
USD
expensive.
or
Yeah,
make it more
whatever.
expensive. It's
Bro, I don't care. So, if that's the level that I want to reach, I honestly think it's so difficult. But that's, you know, fantasy wise lah.
I don't think that hard work is enough. Yeah,
Oh, bro.
definitely not
That is-
enough. you require like so much network intelligence in order to be able to operate on that level.
The levels of your problems at that wealth level
Are even larger.
exactly.
Even larger.
Mm.
Second question is the second last question. If there's something that you want people to know you for, what will it be?
I think very simple lah. I just want people to think that I can make my own opinions. Yeah, we can agree to disagree, but I'll have my own opinions.
You
on
can stand
things.
your grounds.
Yeah, that's all.
I see.
Yeah.
Final question. Damn. Final question.
Hey, no, I can ask you some questions after this.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I always love to ask this final question for the closing, by the way.
Mm.
What is a good life to you? What is a life well lived at the end?
That you can sleep comfortably at night lah.
Because of the very
You
simple.
can sleep comfortably. You don't have to worry about food the next day. You can travel.
That's interesting. Okay.
Um,
Somehow you have a very simple approach to life, yeah. What is a good life to you? You can sleep well at night. You can travel.
but when
you
I
can
dream,
eat. You dream?
it's dreams.
It's dreams.
Yeah.
You just remove all the fucking barriers. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Because I've had a routine all my life. That would be a good life for me
good
if I
life,
can
yeah.
continue having a routine.
Routine. This is you just like peace.
Yeah.
You know.
Mellow, peaceful. Yeah. I think I'm good with that, man. Honestly.
Damn.
Like all the drama and everything.
Yeah, it's noisy.
Yeah.
It's noisy.
Like I don't mind hearing like gossip or whatever, but I won't really,
You don't want it to ruin your peace, right? It's important to you.
because sometimes when you get involved in it, then although you are like third party, somehow you can get dragged into it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble.
Yeah. So I've had that before, and it's like a waste of like energy,
Lot of energy.
a lot of time, and then actually dealing with people. lah.
There
A
you
lot
go.
of dealing with people, and you will come to realize that dealing with people is one of the most difficult and the most time-consuming thing, because people sometimes are just stupid. That's all. That's just the reality of it. Yeah.
Dealing with people is a skill too.
Yeah.
But it's part of a human skill.
If you can deal with people, if you can deal with their nonsense, you can deal with their like, what do you call? Their sense of like they
Their-
deserve a lot of things. Oh, then you're golden, man. I feel you can do like a lot of things with that.
Damn. If you understand how people works, if you can deal with people.
Sometimes I just think like if everybody thought logically, yeah, the world would be a much better place. But sometimes people are just too stupid sometimes, for real. But it's also because of stupidity that people are able to take advantage of each other, and they go further in the rat race lah. Right?
I see.
So everything is just. Yeah? Your stupidity is there to be taken advantage of, and yeah lah, that's it.
In order for people to get ahead of themselves, they need to take advantage of people's stupidity. Yeah, that's just the
Sometimes,
way the world
sometimes,
works.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's
That's just how the system is
Yeah.
rigged, don't you think so? In
Yeah.
business and in everything.
Actually, now I'm interested. What would it be for you then? Like a happy life.
Happy life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I need more time reflecting about this, but I was thinking about it. Yeah. Sometimes I can get pretty critical of myself.
Oh,
Right.
that's normal.
That's normal, right? Yeah, I think it's normal. Like, I should have said that. That's such an embarrassing thing to say whatsoever. But I always ask myself, like, in the next 10 years, will it matter? Most likely no,
Yeah.
right? People will not even care. People will not even remember what I did.
Yep.
So I was thinking, okay, in the next 30, 40 years, what will matter? My relationship with my wife. Okay. My relationship with my kids too, right? I don't have to be fucking rich in order to be happy.
Yeah.
At least stability, right? I think that will be enough. Friends. So I think that when I look at myself, the way that I have a tendency is that when I look at happiness, happiness is relationships with people. I
can see that, bro.
You can see that.
I can see that.
Thank you, brother. So having a happy relationship with my wife, it's okay to fight, of course.
Yep.
It's part of human nature to
Yep.
fight and argue.
Yep.
But when I find a wife and when I find myself, always eager to find the solution to the problem. So it's not me versus you versus me, but us versus the problem. we're willing to put in the necessary work needed, I think that's happy.
Yeah.
Having a relationship with my kids, making sure that my son at least is proud of me.
Mm.
You know, like I can, when I hear my son say that, oh, I want to be like that one day, that's when I know that I did
Yeah.
a good job raising him.
Yeah.
You know, but if my son said that I don't want to be like you,
Mm.
I fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I
Correct.
fucked up somewhere.
Correct.
Having a daughter that loves me,
Mhm.
right? A wife, a family, sons and kids, having friends too, you know, that I could turn to,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That I could like buy gifts.
Mm.
I like buying people's gifts, man.
Mm.
Not gonna lie, I like gifts, and then like being able to be generous with them,
Mm.
and then like having dinner with them, talking with them, catching up. I think that would be a happy life for me. Relationships and stability.
Yeah.
I think that would be the case.
agree. Okay, let me ask you then,
Mm.
because I have a very strong opinion on this.
Tell me.
Like, if you had a son and a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that I would spoil my daughter, but I'll be more harsh on my son.
I agree.
For me, I think, especially if a girl is not shown what true genuine love is,
Mm. Yes.
that's when they go out there
Mm.
and they get cheated.
true.
Yeah, and for a guy,
Mm.
they have to like what you said, you know, they
Mm.
have to build that garden, right?
Mm.
For them to chase someone.
Mm.
So if you're not strict with them,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't teach them the hardship,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
how are they going to, you know?
How are they going to be able to survive? I believe that when it comes to boys, sons, the most loving thing that you could do to him is to actually build him up to become a strong person in order to survive the world. I think that because if he's able to be strong, able to stand on his ground, you're gonna do him a big favor. But when it comes to girls, when you spoil her, you show her what the world could look like, you know.
If you choose the right person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You give her a standard, you
Yeah.
know, so that when
Correct.
she's starting to choose men,
Yeah.
she's not going to go for the lower
Yeah, yeah.
people because she understood what it's
Mm.
like to be spoiled by his
Yeah.
dad, right?
So some people will say that that's narrow-minded.
That's
you know?
narrow. No, bro, that's not narrow-minded. That's realistically.
Bro.
That means you give some thought to it. You know?
Yeah.
Because boys and girls, no matter how you look at it, they're just built fundamentally different. You know,
You're meant for different reasons.
they're meant
Yeah.
for different reasons. If you prepare men for war, they're gonna do very well.
Yeah lah.
You know, if you prepare men to think for themselves, to speak up for themselves, you know, to be able to stand on their own grounds, they're gonna be very happy about it. If you show the girls what the world could look like, they're gonna be more selective,
Yep.
and by being more selective,
Correct.
they can actually
Yeah.
choose the partner that could bring much
Yeah.
more happiness to their
Okay,
life.
good lah. At least I know. That
You're not crazy, bro.
There's somebody who thinks like me. Because like, especially when I ask girls,
Mhm.
then they're more like, no, but you have to treat them fairly. You know, you have to give both of them like equal treatment. Which, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but it doesn't work because if the guy has it too easy, he goes out there and he's nothing. He's a
Yeah.
tofu.
Yeah,
But if a girl is not given enough love, that's where she finds other
Problematic.
sources.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why I think it doesn't work
Mm.
logically.
Logically speaking, yeah.
Yes.
But no, bro, you're not crazy. I have the same idea with
Yeah.
that.
So that's the logical side, but emotionally, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
have any
em-
thoughts about it, but that's where, you know.
Emotionally, I think we should bring Yoriko to the podcast to talk about this later.
This will
When
be
it comes to your parenting style.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about that lah.
Yeah,
like,
but,
you
yeah.
know.
Take it solo, brother.
Yeah,
Kevin, thank you very much, brother. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you, man. It was nice talking with you.
yeah. I wish to ask you more questions.
It's
actually.
okay,
No,
it's
as in
okay.
like, cause it's like if it's just you asking,
Mm-hmm.
it's not as fun, you know. When you're,
Oh, you wanna ask me questions?
I don't know,
Wait,
like,
I mean, like we can go.
yeah. Why don't you tell me, like, what do you think about like some of the questions you asked me?
Some of the questions that I asked you,
Like, you can pick any random one that you thought was interesting.
you wanna see? Like this is the full page on it. This is basically going on the behind the scenes. Yeah, he's gonna ask me questions now. Yeah, he's gonna be the host.
No, I'm not a good host. Like, it's not gonna be as serious as his questions. I just wanna like, I mean, it's because it's a very good way to get to know you as a person.
For sure.
So,
Whatever you have in mind, brother.
but I think we think quite similarly actually. Now
Mm.
that I think about it.
I don't think that we have so much of a different opinion on certain things. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, like even when it comes to parenting, like we basically on the same page when it
Yeah.
comes to boys and girls.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think it's quite important
Quite important.
actually, like to have people around you who think the same. because that's like when you are aligned that way,
Mm-hmm.
when you think about like business ideas and stuff, you will understand each other as well.
True.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's important for you to have like people
Different-
with different
yeah.
perspectives.
Yeah.
But it's also important for you to have someone who can look at the same problem in the same way.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, because if you look at it in a different way, you're gonna be arguing all the time,
Yeah.
right? You're not gonna be able to
Yeah, I mean,
collaborate.
It's good, lah. It's good as well because it's a different perspective. But at the same time, you
You-
have nobody in your
someone-
corner. You know?
Yeah, in your
So
corner.
yeah, feels like that.
Because like if you have someone in your corner
Yeah.
with the same vision, the same perspective, you could see the same problem, and then you started to think, okay, what are the possible ways? And then your brains fire in the same synchronization, right? And then you find the solution in a so much better way, you know, so much more efficient. Why are you looking at us?
Why are you looking at us like that? Huh? Amazed at what?
2 hours and 35 minutes.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that-
it feels very short. Though.
yeah, man, it was very short.
Yeah, for some reason.
Let me know if you have any questions, bro.
I don't know. Like what about for you? Are you interested in? I mean, cause I like all these material. Not to say. Yeah, I mean essentially the material goods,
things?
But like, are you into?
Bro, I like it, but it's just that I'm not born in a family that could help
So
me afford
so what
that
are
kind of level.
what are the goods that you like? Do you like
What I like?
perfume?
I like watches.
Oh, you like watches.
I like
yeah.
watches,
I
but
mean,
I don't know much. But I like fine things.
you appreciate the
The art,
Yeah.
the artistic value behind it, the craftsmanship behind it. I like old money stuff.
yeah, me too.
You too.
Yeah. I mean that's literally all the brands that I buy from nowadays. Literally all.
I enjoy Loro Piana,
Uh-huh.
Ralph Lauren. I really enjoy suits. Actually, to be honest, I really.
Who's your I mean if you know Suits, you know Savile Row and you know
I'm not really into that world yet. Do you know the Brucino brothers? That how do you pronounce it? Sorry.
is it the Brunello one?
Brunello. Sorry,
Yeah.
Brunello brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I like them too.
Oh.
I like classical stuff. You know, watches, suits, and I like old cars. Old classical cars. I don't have anything in mind right now, but when I look at them, I feel like
There's an appreciation for it lah.
damn. Like hyper cars right now, modern. They're cool.
Yeah.
You know, they run fast, but the old cars like
That's a different
that's
appreciation.
different.
Yeah.
Different appreciation. I like old stuff. Watches, suits.
So
old
would you say
cars.
you're more into vintage watches or like current AP
Vintage.
and vintage lah?
Vintage watches. You know I don't have it in mind, but there's this watch, leather strap, brown, circle. It's when you look at it, it's like from the 1990s. You know,
Yeah.
in the 1900s. It's not necessarily like the modern
Yeah.
ones. Do you which when you buy, is Cartier Santos one of the first timepiece that you owned?
Yeah.
The high end one. What was the thinking process? Why you think like I want to buy that Cartier Santos?
Because I wanted something that can be dressy and also
Versatile.
casual.
Versatile, yeah.
And it's a very, very classic piece. Yeah, and I feel like a Rolex is too
Modern?
no, it's too basic.
Too basic.
It kind of feels like
It feels like every rich guy owns it. A bit overrated, don't you think so?
no, it's because a lot of people, the majority of people own a few models. The Datejust, the Submariner,
Oyster?
OP, yeah.
OP.
OP is like the entry into Rolex anyway, so
I
that's
see.
understandable. And then what else you have? You have the Yachtmasters.
Yeah, Masters.
Yachtmasters are okay. There's appreciation there, but like that's the majority of Rolex. Just those few models. Rolex is not that. Rolex is like about the Daytona,
Daytona.
the day dates. Those are where Rolex is at.
I
But
see.
Let's exclude the Sky Dweller, because Sky Dweller is like, I mean, the most complex watch that Rolex makes, but like it's a new model. It is relatively new, so it doesn't really have a classic story behind it.
I see.
Ah.
So when you buy something, it's not only about
Okay, I tell you very simple. If you want a Rolex, if I were to buy a Rolex, I'll only buy two: a Daytona and a Day Date. That's it.
That's it.
A Day Date is a date just with a day on the top, so a day indicator and a
And
date
then
indicator.
and a date
That's it.
indicator.
That is a very classic you made it watch.
What would you use it for?
So it's more dressy actually.
More dressy.
Yeah, it's more dressy.
I see.
And then a Daytona is more casual lah, because
Casual.
it's a chronograph and everything.
Mm.
So that's your sports watch.
That's your
For
sports watch.
AP and Patek, I mean those are, for AP you go with a Royal Oak for your everyday, and then for your chunky watch you have the offshore.
Can you show me
Yeah.
what the Royal Oak looks like?
The world of luxury watches is
It's just
insane. Insane. Man.
What do you think of Grand Seiko?
Yeah, Grand Seiko is a really
Very
good brand.
good.
I think for Grand Seiko and as well as Omega, for the price that you pay, the quality is
It's very good.
top notch. Yeah. Like if you
Really?
don't want to break the bank,
Mhm.
but get a really good watch, Omega and Grand Seiko. Yeah,
Omega
really
Grand
good.
Seiko.
Get like the I can't remember, but it looks like a meteorite for Grand Seiko. That is
Really
yeah,
good.
where is that for Grand Seiko? And then if once you made it and you really want to splurge,
You can go
AP,
AP.
Patek, and Veteran,
Mm.
those three brands. I mean, and then once you made like crazy, like I'm talking about crazy,
Crazy
money,
amount of
you can
money.
buy a RM.
RM.
Yeah,
What's an RM again?
Richard Mille.
Richard Mille.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob and Co.
I mean, Jacob and Co is
I don't think that's a watch.
yeah. Hublot and Jacob and Co are two watches that I mean, if you're a watch person, you won't buy that lah.
There's no artistic appreciation for it.
This is the Royal Oak.
This is Royal Oak.
So this is a 41 stainless steel chronograph.
Holy shit.
This is around 180,000 ringgit.
Ringgit.
Yeah. So that is maybe is it 1 bill or is that how much is that? So I don't want to give the wrong figures.
The levels that exist in the watch here. Just fucking insane.
600 mil
600 mil
for that watch.
for a single piece.
For this for retail, and then if you sell it on the secondary market, there's 50,000 ringgit premium on that. So just by buying that, you made technically on paper 50,000. Yeah, quite interesting, right? Yeah, this one. So this is a Royal Oak offshore.
This is a chronograph,
Yes.
right? The three
This one,
things
yes.
right here.
Yeah. So there's a basic version of this. Let me see if I have a picture. I don't think I do.
Do you like chronographs?
Yes, I prefer chronographs.
For like day-to-day use.
Basically, right? The complication of the watch is a flex.
It's a flex,
Yeah.
really.
The more complicated your watch is, the more of a flex it is.
Oh,
So if you hear somebody with a perpetual calendar and a tourbillon, that's
that's basically the flex.
that's the shit. Yeah. So this is the plain Royal Oak without a chrono. So it's thinner because it doesn't need room for the complication. Yeah. So like this, just a basic Royal Oak is 123,000 ringgit.
Honestly speaking, yeah, I actually somehow prefer it that way.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like without the
Mm.
chronographs and everything. Like,
So there's a few models here actually.
Mm.
This is the 1159, which is AP's newest model that they're trying to push. At the back is the Royal Oak Offshore, so that's their more chunky one. So this is the chronograph lah. That's my watch behind.
Cartier Santos.
Yep. And then this is same as this, just without the chronograph.
Chronographs. I see. And then you chose the Cartier Santos.
Oh no, I already have that.
Oh, you already have that.
I already have that.
Oh, you
So
had of this.
All this is like me going into AP and expressing my interest,
Oh, okay.
and then being placed on the waiting list lah until they offer me a watch.
It's very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, because for watches you can't go in there and buy, especially not a Patek or AP or RM. You know,
they need
those
to put you on a waiting list.
they basically almost screen you
Mm.
because they want to know where the watch is going to. Are you a business owner? What do you do?
Mm.
What's the watch? What's the purpose of the watch? They want to make sure you're not a reseller. Yeah, because all of these have premiums. For example,
It's very interesting. Yeah, luxury brands wanted high barrier of entry
Yep.
for people.
because they know that they can get it, you know, they can get the clients. So they have to be picky on who they want to sell it to. For example, this watch. This is a Patek Aquanaut. So this is their Patek's version of the Daytona, the sports watch.
Sports watch.
This is a sports watch for Patek.
Mm.
This has a very low price. It's 116,000 ringgit.
Mhm.
You walk out the door of Patek, it's worth 330,000.
Huh? Nearly twice.
Yeah.
Simply because it's a resale.
Because it's how hard it is to get this. Yeah. For watches.
But people, but when you bought it, it's very unlikely for you to resell it again, right? Because
Not really. Some people do buy and resell.
Some people do resell.
Yeah. So
So they get passed through the security
Yeah.
section behind you.
yeah. But the thing is, if they do catch you, then you immediately be blacklisted lah.
yeah.
You won't be able to buy
To
a
buy
watch.
anything again. There's consequences.
Um,
Yeah.
What else can I show you? I wanted to show you something, but it slipped my mind already. But basically, like all these watches, you have to go by progression. So, for example, like for Rolex, you buy maybe a Datejust first, and then you can go up to other watches with precious metal, which means like gold, rose gold, before you get into their really high-end watches with diamonds and limited editions and blah blah blah. So what they want is people who keep returning.
I see.
That's when they offer you like the really high-end watches with high resale value.
So you're basically a luxury brand watch.
Mm.
The people that you want buying from you is actually people who will come back
Yeah.
again and
Yeah.
again and again and again.
Yep.
I see. So that's why they have to be very selective and know whether or not
Yeah.
you're a reseller.
But that's also where the whole waiting list thing, they abuse the system lah. Like for Rolex, they make 1.2 million watches a year.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like a lot, right?
Mm.
To put into perspective, AP makes about 50,000 watches a year, and Patek only makes 35,000, and RM makes 5,000 watches a year.
A year.
A year.
A year.
So, for Rolex to say that they have a waiting list, I would say is
Bullshit.
yeah, it's quite bullshit.
They have the stock. They just want to
Yeah,
increase the
so
barrier of
I feel,
entry.
I feel the prestige of a Rolex because of this waiting list bullshit. It kind of makes me like avoid them. That's why I would rather get an AP for
see.
my next big watch.
Because that's a real prestige there.
50,000
50,000
watches.
watches. Only a
Yeah.
year.
And we're talking nation, like whole world.
That's like
50,000.
500 only per
Yeah.
month, more or less.
Yeah. So that's the difference. So if you say a AP or Patek has a waiting list, I would say fair enough.
Because of the limited supply.
Yeah.
Right.
But for a company that's bringing in 1.2 million watches a year, and you're saying like,
A waiting list? Nah,
Yeah.
bullshit.
okay, I mean if you say a limited edition, I mean not a limited, like those really really hard to get models, like so for Rolex the steel Daytonas, they get really really little stock.
I
Like
see.
maybe 0.5% of production is the steel Daytona, which is let me see how much that is. About 6,000 watches in the whole world in a year.
Whole world.
6,000 is like the RM level. So I would understand, okay, that's hard to get.
There are certain types that deserve
Yeah.
to be on the waiting list.
Yeah. But like if you go into a Rolex and then they're like, oh yeah, we have no watches, like,
Waiting list.
you know, the waiting list, even for a basic model, I feel it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
And it's like I just feel like it's like the brand doesn't even want you to buy from them, Yeah.
Playing hard to get there. Psychological game.
Yeah.
What watches would you recommend for someone who is still on the climb to wealth? Let's say that someone who still are not able to afford those high end.
get a PRX, a Tissot
Tissot PRX. I have that in mind, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that
I was
is-
asking you about.
that is a very 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 cheap watch that
Looks
that
very
is good.
That is good.
Good meaning like the movement is good.
Mm.
It looks good.
Mm.
It looks like an AP basically,
Mm.
and basically in the watch world, like everybody is in agreement that that's a
Yeah.
good watch. Yeah.
For that price.
So
Very
that
fair.
watch definitely no brainer. Other than that, like there's so many to explore, man. Like I can't even
Start.
yeah. Like for me, I'm very. I look at the top brands.
Mm.
So for me, I don't really look around too much at
Yeah,
the
middle.
consumer one.
Mm.
But I would say if you want like a progression, right? You can start. You can start with a Tag Heuer
Take Heuer.
or Tissot.
Mm.
Then you can go up to shit. I can't even remember. Maybe Omega.
Omega.
Yeah.
That's quite a big jump, isn't it? From Tissot
yeah.
to Omega.
From. Let me see the. I need.
There's
I need
a hierarchical
picture. Yeah, there's
structure
a
behind it.
hierarchy one. So I need to see like watch brand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So see, you can start with a Tag Heuer,
Tag Heuer.
and you can jump up into Omega.
Oh, you can jump to Omega directly. Where's Tissot?
Should be here lah. I think it's either here or here.
Okay.
But like they are the entry luxury.
Entry luxury.
Mm. Yeah, like you see, the Kati is like here only. It's where
With the same level of
is.
Omega.
So I can go up to here. Then I mean, of course, at the top.
Where's Patek again?
Patek, right at the top.
Right at the top,
With
yeah.
RM.
With RM.
With
Piaget?
Piaget, AP, Elang and Sonner, you know, all those brands, VC.
What about Longines?
Yeah, Longines is really good.
Really good too.
That's a really good brand as well for the price. Longines is good.
Is it in the high end?
No, it's more entry.
Entry.
Yeah, more entry.
Entry luxury, yeah. Longines.
They are luxury already, I would say.
Luxury already.
Longines, yeah.
Dude, how long have you been into watches?
Not long also. I also very new because my best friend's sister's husband.
Uh-huh.
I told you, right? He collects watches.
I see.
He lives in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is basically the best place in Asia to get watches.
Really?
So, I mean, for him it's different. He actually worked his ass off until he's like 30 plus.
He worked
He's
his ass off.
established, and then only he went out to buy watches.
I see.
Yeah, so he's already. I think he has 4 Pateks now.
4 Patek.
He has a Grand Comp. So Grand Comp is it's hard to get lah. Basically, it's around 300,000, I think.
Ringgit.
Yeah, MSRP. And if he were to sell it, he can probably fetch like additional 100,000 or 200,000. Then his second one was a Calatrava. Calatrava is actually normally the model that everybody buys first for Patek.
Calatrava.
Yeah.
Patek.
So
Can I
that's
see?
normally So that's normally the one that Patek will offer you.
Bro, I think we can geek out until the evening about watches.
We can, bro. Like you don't even get me started on like colognes, tech stuff.
Yeah.
Like keyboards, you know, like all those like custom
you're
keyboards.
into
Yeah,
custom
I'm
keyboards
into
too.
those.
Thanks,
I told you, bro. I love finding all these niche things in all these like categories, because like I enjoy like I want to know what makes a product more expensive. Why is it more expensive?
I see.
Like I think the difference between me and my dad is like, for my dad it's like, oh, it's expensive. I don't wanna look at it anymore. But for me it's like,
It's expensive.
Why?
Why is it expensive?
why can it fetch such a premium
You're
for such a
curious
basic
about it.
item? Yeah.
What makes it different?
Yeah. Tried on a Calatrava actually for her.
Bro, do you mind if we close
Yeah,
the
yeah,
camera
yeah, yeah,
first
go,
in
go,
order
go.
to save the storage? Boleh ditutup dulu gak kameranya? Okay, thank you very much you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.